Welcome to Horror Cinema Obsession. Here, we dive deep into the chilling depths of horror cinema, from the critically acclaimed scares to the laughably ludicrous, and even the delightfully obscure. Now, let's join our hosts, Richard and Angelus, as they share their love, laughs, and sometimes sheer disbelief at the world of horror movies.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode with Horror Cinema Obsession. We are your hosts, Angelus, and with me, the very handsome, the man, the myth, the legend, the eccentric, the everything, Richard Antahoni.
Oh man, I was really hoping for Ricardo Antahoni Candable.
I thought you were going to go with your name, but you didn't.
I know.
If you're a new listener, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a recurring listener, Heidi, howdy bug.
Do you want to give a rundown on what the show's like?
So if you're a new listener, every week we pick a new horror adjacent movie. For the most part, horror.
Pretty much horror.
Mystery sometimes. Movie, and we dissect it.
I usually do the introduction, guys, but go ahead.
Go ahead. We talk about it in length. We do a scene by scene. Our favorite kills, as morbid as that sounds.
Mm-hmm. We try to make it's a cozy, inviting thing. You know, we take it easy. We enjoy horror. We love horror, just like you guys if you're listening to this podcast. So welcome. And I'm excited to get into this one. This is a good episode. And this is number 40, episode 40, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It's a milestone.
So real quick, did you ever think we'd get to episode 40, let alone like episode 1?
This is like a fucking pregnancy. 40 weeks and you popped.
Whoa. Technically 41 because we skipped a week.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't count. We don't talk about it.
Yeah. We were moving.
Doesn't count, man.
So, yeah, no. Number 40. It feels every bit of number 40. This has been a process, enjoyable process. I love sitting here every Friday night talking to you, sometimes Saturday mornings, but talking to you and just shooting the breeze is pretty fun. And this week we had a really good one. I think it's perfect for number 40. I didn't know this about you. You've seen this a million times. You were quoting this movie.
1,000,001.
Do you want to tell the listeners what movie, your favorite movie of all time?
Motherfucking Anaconda, the 1997.
Yeah, 1997's Anaconda. So I seen this movie back in the day in pretty much 1997 and did not see it
I was
again.
surprised. I was like, this shit played on TV all the time.
I see, not in this area, not for me. I did not see this on TV all the time. So
Interesting. I just remember teenager, and they just play this all the time on TV. It was like every weekend and the nights whenever they did their fucking movies.
Really?
It was on.
I never got that. That.
That's why it was like, oh, and then this happens, and this happens.
And this, and this, and this. You were quoting it. I'm like, what the hell? It was like...
I wasn't quoting it.
Yeah, you were like acting it out like in real time. I'm like, have you seen this before? You're like, yeah, I've seen this a million times.
I was fighting the fucking snakes.
I know, it was insane. So that being said, how do you feel about this movie?
I love this movie.
You do?
As shitty as it is.
Oh, yeah.
The special effects. I like it. It's entertaining. I was shocked. I hadn't watched it in years.
We'll get to it. Yes. I know where you're going with that. So, but you do like it.
I do like it, yes.
Okay. I found myself enjoying it. I liked it. I knew pretty much everybody in it.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised with any of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I knew kind of the characters. Now, I did like the movie, but I did have to watch it 3 times this week. So it kind of was weighing on me. But is this a movie I'd throw in the rotation? Absolutely. It's not one that I dread. So we've done a couple movies where I'm like, ooh, I don't think I ever want to watch that again. But this certainly isn't one. It was made to be a blockbuster, even despite its campiness and B movie charm. This is a blockbuster movie, star-studded, and Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun as we got to crack jokes at it and stuff, which we're going to get into. I know you're like chomping at the bit to get to it. But before we do that, Anaconda, this was released on April 11th, 1997. The movie had a production budget of $45 million and it grossed approximately $136.8 million worldwide,
That's fucking nuts.
making it a box office success despite mixed reviews from the critics. I didn't realize it made that much money.
I didn't either.
Although it does make sense because at the time you had Jennifer Lopez. This was her first big kind of hit movie, like coming out party, besides Selena, right?
Back then, yeah.
And then-
Actually, they came out the same year.
Okay, so she's riding off that though.
Yeah.
And then you have Ice Cube coming from Boys in the Hood. He did earlier in the 90s. I think, literally just did Friday at this point. And then this was another piece to him. So he was exploding. And then you have Eric Stoltz, man. Mask. If you've ever seen that,
I haven't.
you got to watch it. I always reference it. I love it. But no, do you know the slogan for this movie? I thought it was funny.
No.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
So the promos that I read and during my research, man, we need to get a poster of Anaconda, by the way, to hang up in our office. But the slogan is, when you can't breathe, you can't scream.
Stupid.
Stupid. When you can't breathe, you can't scream. It's kind of a play on, where's my, it's outside of the office now, but Alien. In space, no one can hear you scream. What? I love that. But yeah, I had to highlight that slogan. I seen it everywhere when doing the research. I'm like, it made me crack up every time. I'm like,
Can't breathe.
when you can't breathe, you can't scream.
That's funny. All that kept going in my head researching this was Sir Mix-a-Lot.
I know, Jesus. The Nicki Minaj version or
No,
the actual?
the actual Sir Mix-a-Lot. My anaconda don't.
My anaconda don't want none unless you got
I got
buns,
to see
huh?
him when he came to Spokane.
I did too.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I was like, we gotta go see this man.
Mm-hmm. We went to
Playing
the same concert.
downtown. I know, that was nuts. And you didn't talk to me.
You didn't see me like twerking in the background?
Oh, that was you?
Yep.
On the background or up on stage?
No, in the
You
back.
brought up a bunch of girls on stage. They
No.
were ghetto twerking up there.
That's hilarious. Yeah, you just kept to the point. It was annoying.
My bad.
I'm kidding.
You didn't even play it once.
I know. So while Anaconda was a financial success, grossing nearly 3 times its budget, its critical reception, though, was a mixed to downright negative on the review aggregator sites, such as like Rotten Tomatoes. And I know we're going to cover that stuff, but Metacritic. Although Rotten Tomatoes, did you do the research on that?
Yeah, so Rotten Tomatoes gave it...
It was actually fairly reasonable with some of the movies we've watched. It kind of ranks high. Higher than I thought it would.
41%?
Yes. With the consensus describing it as campy but lacking depth, though it was noted for its guilty pleasure entertainment value. So that, I think, is what redeemed itself, was the guilty pleasure. 41%. You don't think that's high?
I guess.
I guess.
In comparison to some of the other movies we watched where they've gotten 20, 30s and...
That's where I was expecting.
For as much shit as this movie got and as many bad nominations as they got, what are they called? The Razzies? The Razzies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of those.
Well, so I thought this was going to be about 20% because if you look at it, I think like Rob Zombie's Halloween's got a lower score than this.
Really?
I feel like they did. And that's not a fair shake, in my opinion.
Let me see.
And then also Metacritic gave it a score of 37 out of 100, which does indicate generally unfavorable reviews, but
Rob Zombie's Halloween got 28% from Rotten Tomatoes.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's fair.
Are you mad?
Like, if you were to compare these two movies, and I know it's a creature feature and then one's a slasher.
You're going to ask me which one I think is better?
Yeah.
This one.
Damn. Oh, snap.
A well-deserved 40-something%.
You like that stanky movie. No,
funny. To me, this was funny. This was entertaining.
It was. But as far as horror goes, because they were trying to make it a creature feature,
it was not
40.
Scary.
I would give it maybe a 35%. I don't know. Maybe as we talk through this in depth,
you'll love it.
I'll give it a higher reception.
You usually do. You always, I feel like a lot of the movies we pick, you talk about them at times on and off, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a low rating, and it's usually higher than whatever.
I know. I gotta sell it. I usually convince myself. So with it, critics often pointed out the film's hokey dialogue and over-the-top performances and reliance on B-movie tropes. However, the audiences appreciated its campy charm, thrilling pace, and memorable moments of unintentional humor, which have since given it a cult following, which I think is where you fall in, is you like all that stuff.
Yes.
Now, the animatronic and CGI effects, particularly for the snake, were polarizing, and this is something I noticed throughout. It does not hold up. Some praise them for their ambition, because we did watch a video you just showed me on the animatronic snake, which was fucking cool.
Uh-huh.
But it did get criticized, and the dated appearance even at the time of the release. So Anaconda has remained a staple of creature feature fans due to its mix of suspense and absurdity, cementing its place in so bad it's good category, which it does their CGI. So the animatronic thing was cool. They're showing the robot. So did they put the skin on that digitally? Is that what happened?
I didn't get that far.
Because it looks like it.
Yeah, but it looks pretty eccentric. It was just like the amount of... It was like a 40-foot long anaconda that they made. They made 2 of them.
Yeah, it was cool.
And yeah, so just to see like what the video that they have on YouTube, just all the wires and all the inside of it move like it does in the movie, it looks cool.
They spent a lot of money on this, which brings me to my next thing was this intentionally meant to be like cheesy? Like the cheesiness, was that like the director's choice? I don't know. To me, it's a bit ambiguous. I don't think that was necessarily what they were seeking out to do. Do you?
I don't think that it was on purpose, but I mean, you can only do so much with what you had.
Well, the reason why I say this, because I remember, you probably don't remember the trailers coming out on commercials for the movie. I remember it as a kid and being like, holy shit, this is scary as fuck. I don't know if I want to watch this.
No.
And when I seen it in 97, that puts me in like 2nd grade. I was like, what? This isn't bad at all. This is actually funny.
You loved it after.
Yeah.
What, Anaconda? I won't do it again.
That's fine.
It's fine.
But I cut you off. Do you think it was?
I don't think that it was meant to be cheesy. I think it came out a little cheesy. Because I think the guy was trying to make like a more intentional, like scary movie. I think what I saw was he was chasing Jaws essentially.
Yeah. So the director, and we'll cover him, Luis Llosa. He approached this film. He's been quoted as high stakes thriller, and which is why he has the cast he has.
Okay.
Is your phone or your laptop?
It's the tablet.
Oh, okay. That caught me off guard. Yeah. So I do want to cover our next thing is one, I guess real quick, what makes it so campy, which the campiness, and I wrote down some of the bulletin points. Do you want to hear them?
Tell me about it, man.
We've got over-the-top performances.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll give you a guess. So the over-top performances, and we're going to cover this in more extent, but Jon Voight's exaggerated portrayal as Paul Cerrone complete with his bizarre and inconsistent Paraguayan accent, is a standout. His menacing and awkward smirks, melodramatic lines, and scenery-chewing delivery veer the character into parody territory. I didn't see this since 97. When we watched this, can you tell the listeners what was going on? Like, it was, we looked at each other, we locked eyes, and started laughing.
We were like, oh, Anaconda, the classic. And then he comes in and he's like, hello. And we just looked at each other like, what the fuck?
I mean, he put
and
on
just lost it.
I'm like, are you serious?
Did you have this memory? Because I did not have that as a memory of the movie.
I remember he had an accent, but I didn't remember it being this bad.
I think I know what happened with me. I don't know what happened to you.
Well,
I watched this in Spanish.
Oh, so you didn't even hear
I didn't hear an accent. They didn't put on an accent.
Well, you had the natural accent from the dubbed voice actor. That is hilarious.
So I was like, what the fudge? Who let this slide?
And then again, to add to the campiness, the self-indulgent dialogue and tropes, the script leans heavily on cheesy one-liners and dramatic tension that often feels unearned. For example, Ice Cube's character saying, and we're going to cover this again, but he quotes his own song, "Today is a good day."
I loved it. It's funny.
As a movie though, and I'm not a movie expert, I don't make movies, but I know that is a sin you cannot do. You can't go meta, man, and quote your own songs.
It's fucking self-promoting.
And it was a direct nod to his hit song. And then moments like this blur the line between sincerity and parody. This is where if you wanted to take serious, you got knocked because it wasn't serious. He was even smiling when he delivered it. He was like, man, today is a good day. Like, it was hilarious. I'm like, what the fuck? And then, yeah, obviously the outlandish situation they're in, the snake CGI and animatronics. And the other thing that I want to bring up real quick that made the campiness, same situation, it's Ice Cube. So the scene with the boombox.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I am saying this correctly. I had to double check to make sure, but Ice Cube's character is listening to his own music on the boombox while Warren Westridge, the rich guy, Jonathan Hyde, I think plays him, is hitting golf balls off the boat. This is, I think it's Ice Cube and Mac 10.
Yeah, you have
their song, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how didn't I pick this up? Well, I guess I was only in second grade.
You didn't catch on that was his album.
How did this not get torched? Like, even now, like, I guess Anaconda's kind of floated into the, like, irrelevancy, right? It's kind of buried.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez don't want to talk about it. Ice Cube certainly don't want to talk about it.
No.
Eric Stoltz don't want to talk about it. John Voight probably does, but the dude's 86 years old, so nobody wants to hear him talk about it.
I think they would shut him up if he tried to.
That was nuts, dude. The boombox. Come on, guys. At least I'm cool with playing like rap, right? But play like a generic rap song. Don't do Ice Cube that's in the scene, man.
I wouldn't know whose idea that was.
And why would they like do that? Why would they not have the forethought to be like, yo,
All right, running under their own rules.
They're breaking the third wall, man, like it's Deadpool.
Oh, but hey, Deadpool is a success.
I guess. So, yeah, that's just kind of the campiness I wanted to cover. But going back to it, I don't think we should overlook this lightly because this was a huge part of the movie for us this time. I wanted to explore Jon Voight's accent choice.
Oh, Lord.
So, Jon Voight's choice to use an accent for his character in this movie is one of the movie's most memorable, but for me, baffling elements. His performance, marked by exaggerated facial expressions, menacing grins, and unique vocal delivery, has sparked much discussion over the years. What accent was it supposed to be?
So he says he's from Paraguay.
Okay.
So we looked it up to make sure, because I know the like U.S. has been involved in Paraguay in the past, political stuff, and I was like, wait, like, what's the ratio of like, Americans living in Paraguay? And it's not. So main language is Spanish, but they are not light skinned Europeans living on there. The majority is a lot of indigenous people still.
Well,
making
I
the
feel
majority of
like
the population
I
in
feel like
Paraguay.
I feel like his delivery is highly theatrical and
Facial expressions.
very exaggerated pronunciations and like
And it didn't sound like a Spanish accent.
no, it just sounded like a white dude
Come on, baby, you can
making
do
an accent.
it.
No,
You don't want to copy him?
no.
I did see somewhere.
It was, dude, okay, it was racially tone deaf. Like, it's to the point where it's like, holy shit, how'd they get away with this and people not be pissed off at him?
The people on the
Someone had to have been offended.
I forgot where, maybe they didn't write it down, but somewhere it had like, he made a comment about where he got his inspiration for his accent. But I did also see that the the percentage of people with blue eyes in Paraguay is like minimal. So here he is with his facial expressions talking like this. I'm from Paraguay.
I'm from Paraguay.
I was just like, how is this happening right now?
Dude, okay, so
are we in punked?
So the thing that I looked up, and people can't pinpoint it, but accent sounds like it's a blend of various South American and possibly European influences. Critics and fans have described it as inconsistent, with some even joking that it defies geographical pinpointing. So you can't really pinpoint where it came from.
No, it's a mix of everything.
And then, so I have a thing here. Why did he use an accent?
Why?
And
Why couldn't he just be a normal poacher?
So his thing is character immersion. He was going full Johnny Depp, getting lost in this character. He intended to make Cerrone more distinct and menacing by giving him an exotic and mysterious quality, in line with his backstory as a seasoned and morally dubious snake hunter. So to be morally dubious and be a snake hunter, you have to be, quote, exotic, like they're saying. And what's exotic mean?
Ethnic?
Yes. That's fucked up.
Why didn't they just
Why
get
couldn't it be
another
just
Mateo?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why couldn't Mateo have been the guy? Like,
yeah.
And then another thing was just his creative choice. So he's seen the character as an opportunity to embrace the film's campy, larger than life tone, adding a touch of eccentricity that would make Cerrone more memorable. Which, okay, but it still doesn't explain and make it like right. And then cultural ethnicity, it's debatable. The accent might have been an attempt to add authenticity to Cerrone's Paraguayan origins, though many argue it is veered into a caricature, a cartoon character. So what I have is the result. While Voight's accent is frequently criticized for being inconsistent and cartoonish, it also has become a standout aspect of the film, contributing to its campy charm. Voight himself has been coy about the accent in interviews, seemingly aware of its divisive reception, but unbothered by the criticism. Whether you find it grating or iconic, the accent undeniably cements Cerrone as one of Anaconda's most unforgettable elements. Well, would you agree with that?
No. It's wild.
No, there's just potential issues here, and I know we're supposed to have fun, and I want to have fun with it, because I don't think it was supposed to be an ill, like...
Intended?
Ill intent. So, yes, it's stereotyping South Americans. It's a character-like accent, and it was an unintended humor that, like, was unintentional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything else on it?
It was just crazy. I mean, I get it was
like,
back
how do you
in the
feel?
day.
How do you feel about it?
Me, it's funny now.
It's funny now.
I don't find it offensive personally as a Spanish speaker native. I just think it's funny. Like he was, in his head at the time, it made sense to him and he was like, I'm going to do this and it's going to be a fucking hit. But it missed the mark. What I'm surprised is
and I'm not
that
saying,
there were a lot of people involved in production and nobody was like, maybe it's not a good idea. I mean, it was
or just all around. Maybe it's not a good idea, but besides the racial kind of things on it,
yeah,
it just sucks. It's not very good. Why couldn't someone be like, yo, this isn't working for the movie, bro? Like, you're going to sink this or turn it into humorous than actual thriller.
He could have just kept his normal voice, his normal accent that he has.
Yeah.
And still come off as mysterious.
Worse,
and
man.
Take away
Angry.
the exotic. Yeah, angry, mysterious, that still would have worked.
Scarier, yeah. It's like, whoa, what is this mystery, like, Englishman doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's one element of it. We just had to point out. It was fucking hilarious when we saw this. We're like, you can't be serious. This guy's an established actor, and he's doing this. This is probably his worst, like, acting, or maybe his best acting.
No. I don't recall on the top of my head other movies that I've seen him in, but
Mission Impossible.
I haven't seen that. Or I maybe have, but he was not a memorable character.
Oh my god, he's the first bad guy.
I don't know. See, I know, no remember.
Oh.
But no, this was bad.
And now we do have another segment that I want to get to. Every time Danny Trejo's in a movie, we're going to cover it. Justice for Trejo. Justice for Trejo. He's tough as nails with stories untold, but Hollywood keeps his screen time short. Justice for Trejo. Justice for Trejo. He's tough as nails with stories untold, but Hollywood keeps his screen time short. Justice for Trejo. Justice for Trejo. All right, guys. Justice for Trejo.
Hashtag.
Hashtag that shit. Justice for Trejo, the segment where we give a little extra love to our boy, Danny Trejo, a Chicano icon who made a career out of defying or dying in almost every movie he's in, usually way too early. This week, we're looking at the Anaconda, obviously, and Trejo's role doesn't even have a name.
Just Poacher.
His name is Poacher. That's all he's credited as. No name, no backstory, just a man who deserved way better. The movie starts with Trejo in full survival mode. He's on a boat, sweating bullets, clearly terrified of something stalking him. The tension builds. You're thinking, oh man, Trejo's about to throw down with the snake. But nope. Instead, he climbs the mast, pulls out a gun, and chooses to shoot himself rather than face whatever horror is out there. That's it. 2 minutes of screen time, no lines, no epic fight, just a tragic offing before the movie properly begins. At this point, Danny Trejo might as well be the Hollywood equivalent of Star Trek's Red Shirt. For those of you who don't know, Red Shirts in the original Star Trek series were the security officers in red uniforms who would beam down to a planet and inevitably meet their doom. They existed purely to show how dangerous the mission was, basically cannon fodder. And in Anaconda, Trejo is absolutely the red shirt. His death is there to tell us, hey, the snake isn't messing around, but come on. This is Danny freaking Trejo. He deserves way more than being the cinematic sacrificial lamb. That's all I'm saying.
2 freaking minutes.
2 minutes. How do you feel about that?
I don't like that. He didn't even say a line. Did he have any lines? I don't think so.
No, he didn't have any lines.
He just ran and was like, ah.
Yeah. He doesn't speak. And he doesn't have his mustache, which was weird too.
I know you were like, what? Where's the luscious?
Dude, okay. Here's what bugs me the most. Trejo's character had potential. It did have potential. Was he a legendary snake hunter? We don't know. Did he have some vendetta against the Anaconda? maybe the snake killed his family and this was supposed to be his redemption arc. Instead, we get a loser poacher with no name instantly gone.
I think he was famous. He was on that newspaper article we see later on.
Yeah, as the third banana.
He was in the middle. He was the fucking the jam on the Sunday. I don't know.
Jam on the Sunday. Man, he wasn't even the peanuts. He wasn't even the Sunday, man. Man,
he was the ice cream.
Hollywood, if you're listening, let's do better by Danny Trejo. Let's give him roles where he doesn't have to die 5 minutes in, where he gets to be the hero, or at least make it to the credits, because I think we can all agree Trejo is too cool to keep getting treated like a glorified red shirt.
Hashtag amen.
Yep. Here's to you, Danny. Your time on screen may have been short, but your impact was huge. And in this house, we'll always fight for justice for Trejo.
We live in our hearts.
Hashtag.
Are we getting a Trejo poster too?
Oh, dude, we got to. And I will say he did have Machete, but only one movie he survives the whole movie.
That's it. Every single movie he dies?
I'm pretty sure every single movie.
In every movie we watched so far.
Yeah.
Predators.
Dude, he dies in Heat. Robert De Niro shoots him in the head. He dies in Dusk Till Dawn. That's a Tarantino movie.
He died in Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Well, this goes on, man. The guy just dies. Justice for Trejo.
Justice. Fucking BS. Baloney.
So I'm excited to have that segment now whenever Danny Trejo's on the...
Justice for Trejo.
in the movie. So, do you want to go to cast?
Let's
go. Now we got off our rant on Trejo. To start it off, who do we got? Do you want to run through it? Give it a rundown?
The lady of the hour, Jennifer Lopez.
Wah, wah, wah. Jenny from the block. What's up?
As Terry Flores. There was a ton of people that they consider for this role.
I read that too. Who'd you read was in the running for it?
So Gillian Anderson and Juliana Margulies turned down the role, and then they also consider Jennifer Aniston, Kate Beckinsale, Nicole Kidman. I don't see her playing this.
No, I don't see any of them.
Kim Basinger.
Oh, Basinger.
Basinger and Sandra Bullock.
Ooh, okay. I could see Sandra maybe.
Yeah, she did more of those action-y copy movies.
Yeah, she did. What was that?
Miss Congeniality.
Speed.
Yeah. The one where they can't see on Netflix.
Oh, Bird Box.
Yeah, so Jennifer in the block.
So at this time, the same year, earlier in 97, Lopez got critical acclaim for her portrayal of Selena. How do you say her full name? Selena
Quintanilla.
Perez? In the biopic, which significantly boosted her acting career. Anaconda showcased her versatility, transitioning from musical biopic to a horror adventure film.
Well, I didn't realize she was in Living Color.
Yeah, and she was a Laker girl.
Damn. But then she went on to make the epic Enough.
Oh, yeah.
I like
battered.
that movie.
Yeah, she was a battered
Made
housewife.
in Manhattan. Monster-in-Law, Shades of Blue, which was a TV show, Hustlers, dude, she looked good for fucking Hustlers. As a stripper?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I never seen it.
You know, her butt was on your face.
Oh, it was looking good. I might have to watch it.
For her age, like, she got in really good shape for that role.
Well, how old is she?
Now she's like late 50s.
So she was 50 when she did Hustler then, if she's late. Because that came out in like 2018, didn't it?
2019.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
She ain't no late 50s, is she?
Yes, she's like my mom's age.
Oh, like, bro.
She's 55.
Holy shit.
She's my father's age.
Your Faja.
My Faja. Look at her twerking on stage.
How do you feel about Jennifer Lopez? I feel like in the community, she's kind of a love-hate.
She's a love-hate. I don't know.
When I hear you
she has a lot of drama.
When I hear you and Vienna talk about her, like, oh, Jennifer Lopez, like she doesn't really represent us, kind of thing.
The Latino community?
Yeah.
Not really.
Nah.
No, she's Latina, but Like, I don't know. All of her movies are in English that I know, that I've seen. She hasn't made anything and like mingle too much with the Hispanic community.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
So you guys have a hard time relating to her, though.
Like, the only thing is Selena, but that's it. Besides that, like, movies to me in my head, like Made in Manhattan, it was,
That's for
it
the
was
whites.
enough. Also, I mean, I like the movie. I like the movies. I like her acting. I like her movies. I watch a lot of her
Yeah.
movies.
Despite how she is outside the movies and like what she's perceived in real life, her movies, she's a pretty good actress.
She is, yeah. But no, I just don't see her in that, like, oh, like, yeah, she's, her parents are from Puerto Rico. One of them, I think. But I don't know. I don't know, Jenny.
You don't know how you feel about her?
I don't know
I
how
just
I
want to
feel
hear,
about her.
I need to hear you unleash, man.
Unleash?
Yeah, you always try to stay like middle of the road.
I don't hate her. I don't dislike her.
Yeah.
I don't know. She sounds like she has a lot going on.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, people were like, cool, yeah, she's a successful Latina. But then the more that she keeps going, she kind of stays within her, like she is a entertainer for a community. I don't know. I just can't, like, I don't feel her in my heart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
You get it?
We'll talk about a person that we feel in our hearts. Justice for Trejo. But no. Ice Cube, man, as Danny Rich. He's the resourceful cameraman and Terry's right-hand man.
You know he illegally changed his name to Ice Cube?
That's cool.
I was trying to find, like, what? And I was like, oh, state your name. What is his real name?
What is his real name? I thought it was like Curtis.
I couldn't find it. It was just, like, legally changed his name.
God,
I was like,
I can't remember. People don't attack me on that. So I do have career highlights in 97 for him. He was already at this point established as a pioneering rapper and actor. He had notable roles at this point. Boys in the Hood, 91. How do you like that movie? It's got Cuba Gooding Jr. in it. You ever seen it?
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, dude. Ice Cube has the perfect Jerry curl, man. It's awesome. So Boys in the Hood, we'll have to watch that. And then he had Friday that came out in 95. So 91, he had a huge hit, and Friday was a massive hit. So this was his like third movie that was going to be a blockbuster, and obviously was.
I found his O'Shea Jackson.
Oh, that's right. O'Shea Jackson. So his performance in Anaconda just further solidified his status as a versatile actor capable of handling diverse genres. Although I don't think this movie really was like pushing him or challenging him, other than the fact that they had to shoot some of it in the Amazon.
Yeah.
How'd you like it? How'd you like Cube?
Oh, well, I do have a place for him in my heart.
I fucking love Ice Cube, dude.
No, there wasn't a ton to his character in the movie.
He was a tough guy.
He was a tough guy. I love that he referenced his own music, because I thought that was hilarious. Although apparently it's a big no-no.
It's a no-no. I don't like it.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
I didn't like that at all.
Dang.
You lost me. You lost me.
I lost you.
Yeah.
I think he did good. He enjoyed it.
How do you like the movie? Have you seen Are We There Yet?
Yeah.
You like that?
I did like it.
I like the barbershop movies. Those are pretty good.
I like his Friday.
Friday After Next. Oh my God.
Okay,
talk about accent. I always remember this. I think it's Friday After Next. It's the second one where, what's his name? I don't know. He's got a snow cap on. And he's like, no, lock doors. No, lock doors.
You always fucking say that.
It's from that movie. I love it. He's like, man, no, lock. I got to show you it. You'll fucking think it's funny. You had to have seen Friday too, haven't you?
No.
Oh, man. No, lock doors. But yeah, no, I liked Ice Cube in this. And then our next guy, John Voight.
Oh, I found his inspiration.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
He said,
and this is John Voight's inspiration.
Yes, for the Paul Cerrone accent, Paraguayan accent. He said he based his character on Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride.
Dude, okay, I have to point out he is an Academy Award winning actor for the movie Coming Home in 1978. This guy's won hardware for acting. Why the fuck? He should have just retired, man. And he's still acting to this day.
Since 1962, it looks like.
Yeah, so I just don't know why he did that. It's baffling. I don't understand, other than the fact he's doing this on purpose. And if your reference was Princess Bride, that
Inigo
was an
Montoya.
that was an over exaggerated accent.
Yeah. It wasn't anything like Inigo Montoya.
No.
Anyways, he's done a ton of shit. Mission Impossible, like you said, Enemy of the State, Holes.
Did he
Who
do
was he in
whoa.
Holes?
He did Enemy of the State? That's a
Yeah.
Will Smith movie. I
In
did see.
98.
Oh, that was in 88?
98.
98, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I remember, God, I'm drawing a blank. Jackman?
Will Smith, Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman, yeah. He was in
He
it.
was Thomas Bryan,
Huh.
Jack Black, Regina King.
Nice.
He was in Holes. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Maybe remember
Yeah, he
Holes.
was. Yeah.
He was in Transformers, the 2007.
I don't remember that.
He was in Ray Donovan, the TV show.
I do remember he was Ray Donovan's dad.
He was in Strangers in 2024 is the most recent thing that I have for him.
Okay. How do you feel about him as an actor?
I don't know. I apparently he's not very I know he's Angelina's
you-
dad's, right?
Yeah. Have you
All I know about him.
dads plural? Have you seen Ray Donovan? We might have to watch that.
No.
It's a pretty good series. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, that's all I know about him is he's her Faja, and as far as acting,
There was other.
I know he did a lot of stuff, but that's it.
So for the role of Paul Cerrone, did you look up? There was other actors.
Yeah, a lot of people. I didn't write him down. There was a lot
There was a lot of them that made sense too. There's actual
better than him.
There was a couple like Mexican actors that were supposed to be it.
Maybe Danny should have been.
He
him.
could have been. I think he could have been menacing. He plays a good menace.
He does. I
So-
want to see. Does he do any villain roles, Danny?
Yeah, pretty sure. Maybe not.
I know. Maybe as a poacher, he was supposed to be a bad guy. And
He was a bad guy.
Predators, he was.
Anti-hero kind of, where he was in the cartel. He's a bad guy on Earth, but he's just trying to survive in Predators.
there.
Yeah,
But he's just so funny.
I like Trejo.
Why would you kill him?
I know we keep going back to it. Yeah, so our second guy, or another guy that we got, and he's barely in this movie, and he's kind of a big deal, Eric Stoltz. Now, this guy, are you familiar with any of his work?
No.
So, like I brought up earlier, Mask is the one I always remember, where he plays Rocky Dennison, and has a deformity and shares his mom in that. And then the thing that I remember most, and I remember hearing this back in the day, he was supposed to be the original Marty McFly from Back to the Future, which
Oh.
they shot movie, like some of the movie, if not
With
all of
him?
it, with him in it.
What
And
the
they had to
hell?
reshoot it with Michael J. Fox.
Why?
I don't know why. I think he was just hard to work with or
Oh.
something like that. I don't know exactly. I don't want to make up stuff, but there was some reason he couldn't finish the movie or do the movie, or they didn't want him anymore. And which, oh my God, thank God they chose Michael J. Fox. That dude's fucking awesome.
Cheese man?
How do you like Back to the Future? Are you a hater of Back to the Future?
I watched like a couple of them, but that's it. But I'm not like, oh my God.
1 and 2 are amazing.
Okay.
Dare I say this trilogy is amazing.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah, it's my childhood.
Okay. I watched like 1. They would play like 1 on repeat.
Oh, they used to play it all the time on TV, all 3 of them. Okay. So yeah, Eric Stoltz, he plays Dr. Stephen Kale. Like I said, barely in it. He
Goes in there to take a nap.
passes out. Then we have Jonathan Hyde, who seems to play the same character in
This guy
every
we've
movie.
I've seen a lot.
I like it too. I like his character. He's perfected it. But he plays Warren Westridge, the documentaries.
He's a narrator.
Yeah, narrator.
Yeah.
He's a refined British narrator hired for the documentary. So at this time, his career highlights in 97, he appeared in Titanic.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, shout out Leo. Jonathan Hyde played Bruce Ismay in that movie. And then
He was in The Mummy in 99.
Yep.
Same
Money
character
in 99. Same character, different era. And then he also was in a couple years before Jumanji. He was the hunter.
He was also in Richie Rich in 94.
I haven't seen that movie since 94.
Forever.
That's cool. I like him. How'd you feel about him?
I like him.
He redeems himself in this movie. I'm like, okay, he's pretty cool. He teaches Cube how to drive a fucking boat. So he's pretty cool. And then we have Owen Wilson. Wow, man. Wow.
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 Wow. That's pretty
Hey,
good.
guys. Wow.
Wow. Guys.
You have Owen Wilson. Now, at this point, he's an emerging star, right? This is one of the bigger roles that he got. And then I think it's in 1996, he co-wrote and starred in an indie film. I believe it's indie film, Bottle Rocket. And it was directed by Wes Anderson. So that was some of his work, marking the beginning of a successful collaboration between the two. If you don't know Wes Anderson, I'm sure you do, Angelus. I'm sure you've seen some of the works, but yeah, pretty big deal on that. How do you feel about Owen Wilson as Gary?
I love my man Owen Wilson. He's fucking funny. Everywhere I see him, he's like on every comedy that I saw in the 2000s. Every other movie. He was on Armageddon. I don't remember him in there.
Yeah, he's in Armageddon.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Meet the Parent. Zoolander. Amazing. Meet the Fockers. Night at the Museum. Wonder that was more of a serious role where he played the dad of the little kid.
Yeah. Dude, Zoolander, it's inside the computer? The files inside the computer? And then he slams the computer, breaks it open.
I liked him here. As though his character is similar to some of the other characters in other movies.
Yeah. So he wrote, I think it's House on Haunted Hill. He played in that movie. No, not Haunted Hill. Maybe it's The Haunting, where they stay in it. It's got what's his name from Schindler's List in it. Fuck, what's his name?
I don't know. Am I supposed to Google this?
No, you can. He's an Irish actor, and he's
Haunting?
in Taken. Who's the guy who stars in Taken? I'm drawing blank. He pees his pants now. Have you seen that?
No.
Look it up. Put in Taken.
Okay, Haunting was with Liam Neeson.
Yes, yeah, Liam Neeson. The poor guy pees his pants now, and they have it on pictures. Like, I feel bad. I feel bad about that. Like, why put this guy's business on blast?
Oh, I will find you. Yeah. I will look for you. I will follow you.
Why am I so terrible at remembering stuff? Fuck. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know why I got on that tangent, but
ADHD brain.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. The next person I have is Carrie Werher. How do you say it?
I don't know.
So she plays Denise Kalberg, and that's Owen Wilson's girlfriend. Or did they just meet, or are they like in a relationship?
They gave me vibes like they knew each other.
Yeah, before this, right?
Yeah.
So she, in 97, was known for a role in TV series Sliders. Was transitioning into film during this period. Anaconda was among her notable film appearances in the 90s. I feel like I've seen her since then in like Hallmark movies. I feel like that was her thing, like Lifetime.
She was also in Thinner.
Was she?
Yeah, she was.
I don't remember.
Gina Lemke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was there, and then she was in Secrets of a Psychopath.
Oh,
Something called Vixen, the movie, and then more recently, Fiance Killer in 2018.
okay.
Okay.
And she was cool. And then we have Mateo Vincent
Castellanos.
Castellanos
Mm-hmm.
as Mateo. He's the boat pilot or captain who has a mysterious past connection with Cerrone. So Castellanos appeared in The Crow, City of Angels in 96 prior to this role, and his portrayal of Mateo added to the film's suspense and sense of impending danger. So he didn't really have anything else of note. Did you find anything?
He was briefly on The Master of Disguise,
Ooh.
Eology, Kane 911, The Last Marshal, and Primary Suspect.
Is he still acting?
The most recent thing that I see for him was in 2000, and that was... No, I lied. 2004, Eology.
Okay.
Not a ton.
And then we got to give our boy Danny Trejo again credits. Again, he didn't have a name in this. It's just Poacher. But at this point, Trejo was building a reputation for his tough guy roles. So have you ever seen Desperado?
Yeah.
95. That's a
Navajas.
good one. I love that. And then from Dusk Till Dawn in 96, I think Heat was a part of this too.
He was in Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Oh, yes, with Johnny Depp. That was a good one. What else?
Planet Terror.
Fuck yeah, I love Planet Terror.
Machete.
Mm-hmm.
Blood In, Blood Out.
What up, homie? Does he die in that one?
No,
Wow.
I don't think he does.
Justice
He's in there
Trejo.
briefly, I think.
Okay.
My Crazy Life, and then he was in The Book of Life.
Book
He
of
was a
Life.
skeleton.
And my boy has Salma Hayek tattooed on his chest. What's up?
That's what's up.
That's what's up. So that's Danny Trejo. And then we have Frank Welker, voice of the Anaconda. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
He provided the vocal effects for the Anaconda. At this point, his highlights are in 97. Welker is a prolific voice actor known for voicing Fred Jones in Scooby-Doo and Megatron in Transformers. His contribution to Anaconda added a menacing auditory presence to the creature, which I can't say that I was paying attention to that.
It was like,
I thought maybe they just got like snake noises.
that's what I thought happened. I was surprised to see a credit for voice acting of a snake.
Yeah.
Did it work for you? Did it give you scare vibes? Did it add to the ambience?
I guess, and maybe he did that good of a job that I thought
It was
the
a
real
computer.
deal. He knocked it out of the park.
Good job.
So that was the cast. Do you have anything to add for that?
That's all the cast I had too.
All right. Do you want to move on to their director? Our pacing's moving, I think, pretty good, just like this movie, just nonstop.
For the director, we have Luis Llosa Urquidi. Apparently, this dude has been a significant figure since the 70s as a Peruvian film director. He was born in Lima.
Oh, shit.
Best known for Sniper and The Specialist and Anaconda are his three bigger, like, well-known films. Originally, he started off as a film critic. That was interesting.
Oh, wow.
And he was known for doing, like, early English language exploitation films that were produced by Roger Corman, who I'm not familiar with. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. He has a few TV documentaries. One of them that he's very well known for, it was called The Gold of the Incas. So we talked briefly that this movie got a lot of Razzie awards. Razzie. One of them was Worst Director. that he was nominated for.
Yeah. And the Razzies are all in good fun. I don't think they're meant to like be super hard.
No. So he did end up going to found a production company that produces Peruvian films and novelas. He did. I was surprised. He's responsible for Latin Lover, which you love, with Eugenio Derbez.
Oh, he did that one?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah, and then for the movie itself, I guess he took a lot of inspiration from South American folklore of Venezuela, Brazil, and Colombia, where the green anaconda is in its natural like habitat endemic. It says, and apparently like those three countries, because there's a lot of anacondas there, they all tend to have some sort of or variation of myths and legends involving the snakes being considered a man-eater or a deity by some of those indigenous tribes around the area. So that was his inspiration for filmography.
So I did notice after Anaconda, though, Losa largely stepped away from directing major Hollywood films.
Okay.
He returned to Peru, focusing on producing and occasional television work.
Nice.
So I don't know if that aligns with what the filmography. I just wanted to say that before.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, he has Hour of the Assassin, Crime Zone Sniper,
The Specialist.
Yeah, and then after Anaconda, I just saw two movies that he directed, which were The Feast of the Goat in 2005 and Tattoos in Memory in 2024.
So he had a huge gap. So maybe Anaconda left a bad taste in his mouth.
And he drifted to producing instead of directing, it sounds like.
Well, that makes sense. So he wasn't a true director to start with. He was a film critic.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. He tried it, made some notable films. I mean, so it wasn't bad. So from what I read, though, because I haven't seen a whole lot of these movies, his influences in movies are characterized by their bombastic action sequences and melodramatic storytelling. He is noted for embracing a certain level of absurdity in his films, which contributed to Anaconda's mix of thrills and unintentional humor. So I think for American audiences,
it didn't work.
No, or it works. It's funny, but it's not like in like Peru. It probably hits a little differently than it does here.
I see.
Yeah.
Writers, I saw. Is that all you had for the director?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of what I'm thinking about too. So talking about hitting differently, I've noticed, and you know what I'm talking about, like in Peru, it's different. In Mexico, things are hits differently because you've showed me things where it's like you're laughing, it's hilarious. I'm like, I don't get it. And you're like, this is funny. I'm like, I don't understand. But you know what I'm talking about though, like
it's a
certain
cultural
styles.
things
Yeah,
and stuff.
Exactly. I wonder why that is though. Why?
Because it's difference in cultures, broski.
I guess.
We're a melting pot. And we're all different. And the same. Kind of. You're giving me a weird look.
Who do you have for writers?
I have 3 writers.
I do too.
I have Hans Bauer. He's an Austrian screenwriter, author, and photographer. And he's the man who wrote the screenplay for Anaconda and the sequel that followed after. Some of his other known work was Titan AE. And then, like I mentioned, the sequel to Anaconda. He's also a published writer. I saw that he has 3 main things. One of them was Fishtail Anaconda, the writer's cut. And then a book called In the Beginning. Let's see.
Jim Cash?
Jim Cash was another book that you saw. Oh, the other writer.
Yeah.
So Jim Cash.
And he was a seasoned screenwriter. Jim Cash was.
And what's the other?
Dude, so Jim Cash was a seasoned screenwriter, and he's best known for co-writing iconic films like Top Gun, Legal Eagles, and Turner and Hooch. I love Turner and Hooch. It's our boy, everybody's favorite dad, Tom Hanks, with that adorable dog. Have you ever seen Turner and Hooch?
No.
I think you'd like it.
Is it sad?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember it being sad.
You're talking about a pooch, and I'm like, is it sad? Is this a
Turner
Marley
and
and me?
No, it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's like a buddy cop show, but it's a dog and a man.
Oh.
It's a movie. It's pretty good.
Okay. So this man started off as a professor of writing and film history,
Jim Cash.
And then he met a student while working at Michigan State University who is Jack Epps and happens to be the third writer of the movie.
Hell yeah.
And they later became writing partners. So like we mentioned, so a lot of the credits for these two guys are very similar, like you mentioned, as far as Top Gun being on here. What was the other one? Hawaii 5-0, Kojak.
Oh, nice. TV shows.
TV shows. So they did a lot of stuff together, but out of the three, it sounds like Jim Cash has more of experience.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you have anything else?
Nope. I just have their partnership ended in 2000. Cash died from an illness.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of ended his career.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, before we continue, should we take a small commercial break?
See.
All right. We will be right back. Hey listeners, do you dream of speaking with the mysterious flair of an international man of danger? Do you want to leave people captivated or just very, very confused? Then welcome to Voight's Versatile Voice Academy, the only school where every accent tells a story and none of them make sense.
Wait, Richard. Are you saying this academy actually teaches people to sound like the fictional character Paul Cerrone in Anaconda?
Absolutely, Angelus. Whether you're trying to terrify a giant snake or make small talk that feels vaguely threatening, Voight's got the technique for you.
All right. I'm listening. What kind of groundbreaking techniques are we talking about here?
I'm glad you asked, Angelus. At Voight's Versatile Voice Academy, you'll master iconic skills, such as the Serpent's Lullaby, a voice so soothing, even a 40-foot anaconda will think twice before swallowing you whole. You got Mumble with Menace, because sometimes it's scarier when no one understands what you're saying. And my personal favorite, the dramatic accent drift. Start with South American draw, and with, well, who knows? You keep them guessing.
Ooh, that sounds versatile, all right. But is that it?
Oh, of course not. There's more. You'll also learn the over-enunciated evil, where even your grocery list sounds like a villainous plot. Also, snake charm small talk, perfect for awkward conversations where you just raise your eyebrows and hiss occasionally. And my classic, or the classic, is menacing laugh to complete the scene, because no confusing accent is complete without a laugh that sends shivers down everyone's spine.
Whoa. Sounds like the kind of training that guarantees you'll never get invited to another family dinner.
Exactly. You'll walk into any room, immediately command respect of your peers, or just at least get complete bafflement.
Wait. Does this academy come with a guarantee that people will actually understand your accent?
Nope, but it guarantees they'll never forget it.
Voight's Versatile Voice Academy, turning everyday conversations into unforgettable, unsettling experiences.
All right, we are back, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that commercial. Angelus, it's that time. It's that segment. I gotta create another song for our segment.
Time of the month.
It is the segment where we cover our plots that we wrote for the movie. If you would so kindly go first.
Me? Okay. Sí. Shao.
Porque sí.
Porque sí. Okay. And a group of explorers on a quest to uncover a hidden, secluded indigenous tribe in the depths of the Amazon embark on what was supposed to be a great discovery to humanity all across the world.
Shirashami.
Instead, a newcomer who acts like a sales rep at Sephora butts in to help in their search with the excuse of hitching a ride. The mysterious Paraguayan, with more secrets than a Mexican novela, packed with a unique accent, hijacks the documentary with one goal in mind: to capture the biggest anaconda ever seen, no matter the cost. Soon, the crew start becoming off the rack clearance bait for the deadliest, smartest reptile on Earth, the green anaconda of the Amazon River. In a fight of kill or become food, Danny and Terry take matters into their hands to fight the snake who just wants to live in peace, man, and the maniac Paul in the battle of all battles. The end.
Okay, I like it. Good job.
Thanks. As you dust off your shoulder.
How do you feel about it?
It's okay.
It's okay. Mine's okay too. Here's what I got. A film crew led by Terry Flores, Jennifer Lopez, heads into the Amazon to document its wildlife and forsaken tribes. But things go sideways when they encounter a 40-foot anaconda with cameraman Danny Ice Cube and the overly confident Westridge, Jonathan Hyde. The crew is no match for the deadly snake. But before the chaos really begins, Danny Trejo meets a tragic end at the opening scene. Again, hashtag justice for Trejo. Hollywood, give the man a chance to survive once. But to go back to the movie, the real trouble starts when Paul Cerrone, John Voight, boards the boat. His accent, a mix of Dracula and Paraguayan mystery. His obsession with catching the snake puts the entire team in danger, proving that true threats isn't just a giant serpent, but trusting a guy with a ponytail. Packed with over-the-top action, cheesy dialogue, and absurd characters, Anaconda is a guilty pleasure that shows you shouldn't mess with Mother Nature, especially when she's got a giant snake and an inexplicably charismatic villain on her side.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you.
It's good.
I screwed up some of it, but...
You screwed up some of it?
Yeah, but that's okay.
I couldn't tell. I thought it was brilliant.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think I should have incorporated the slogan, but that's okay.
Oh my goodness. There was a ton of information on this movie. Whoever put together like things that they got wrong, really hyper focused on the snakes.
Oh my God. It's kind of like our giveaway. The guy's like, you know what, your post, are you giving away the 24-inch collectors? What was it, Spirit Halloween Chucky? Or is it the blah, blah, blah Chucky? I'm like, it says 24-inch in the thing. He's like, well, you need to change your picture then.
You're like, no.
I'm like, noted, bro. Thank you.
So very much.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that? Sorry to go on a tangent.
You guys, it's a free 24-inch Chucky doll.
Yeah. Which we'll cover later in the episode.
Beautiful box.
Yeah.
With a lot of fucking goodies because Richard broke the bank.
Spared no expense. We love you guys.
No expense. So, Spirit of Halloween collection or not, it's fucking dope. I kind of don't want to give it away, but Richard says we have to.
I know. I love it. Dude, it stares at us when we're watching TV.
Everybody that walks in the door and that thing is just standing on our dining table, they're like, oh, okay.
I like how we just live with them now. It's just kind of there.
For a whole month.
I was putting together Vienna's desk and he was staring at me and I was home by myself. I'm like, fuck. This is giving me the creeps.
It was humble.
Give me
the power. We're going to come and find your body just on the floor and you were going to be possessed by Chucky.
I know. Hilarious. Anyways, Jesus Christ, we got to close that tab. Do we want to go to Anaconda's scene for scene?
Yeah. So before we get into the scenes for scene, supposedly, you guys, I'm sure everybody has watched Anaconda by now. I don't know. There was a note here that the CGI costed like $100,000 per second.
Nah, that's not accurate. That's not accurate. I don't think that is. It cost a lot. Don't get me wrong, but that much? Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know if the CGI did or if like making the robot.
I have no idea. What I liked about this movie is that a lot of the river scenes were actually filmed in Rio Negro, where they say in the movie that it took place in Brazil, near Manaus, and then the rest of it was filmed in Los Angeles.
At their Arboretum?
Arboretum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. There was a lot of differences actually between the movie and the snakes, what they're really like. And apparently,
oh my God,
it's very rare
feature.
to find a 40-foot large anaconda.
Yeah, it's impossible. They don't exist.
The animatronics, like I said, there was 2 of them. one of them was Queen and the other one is called Warrior. And at one point, I don't know if they're still there. They were on display at the San Francisco Science Museum for people to just go and check them out.
That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Right? And in the entire movie, there's only 2 scenes where they actually show real anacondas.
No shit.
Yeah, one of them was when they blow up the first barrier and the snakes fall all over the boat. They actually have some baby anacondas there. And the second one was at the ending scene when they're at the building. When she enters the nest. That's the only second one. I was like, damn, for a movie with a name on the title, you don't see a lot of them apparently.
Right. Cool. Thanks for sharing.
The actual snakes that were used were from a local handler in Brazil.
That's cool.
So that was cool. So they did use some real ones. They weren't all fake.
Oh, hell yeah.
The waterfall was fake as fuck.
Was it?
Did you know that? Yeah, apparently it was a whole setup that they made, which was running like 2,000 gallons a minute.
Holy shit.
And at one point there's an error that they didn't catch, but in the movie when they filmed it, towards the end, the water is running up instead of down. But it's so fast, the scene happens so fast that
I
it's
don't even notice when
hard
he
to
jumps through.
pinpoint. Yeah.
Okay.
And the film, yeah, a lot of it a lot of what takes place in LA was a man-made jungle made to look like a replica of the rainforest. It looked pretty realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, they spared no expense on this movie.
Well, I like it. So for the scene by scene, it starts
let's get into it.
With a scary anaconda story that I didn't write down.
Oh my gosh, I didn't either.
Essentially says anacondas are scary, I think.
Yeah, and in this culture, they're huge.
They're 40 feet long. And you get this, like, Richard, you briefly talked about the opening scene already with Danny, aka the poacher.
Yep. Yeah, we covered that already. So getting past that point, he shoots himself in the head. It's over, right? Now we get the introduction of the crew, but we start with Jennifer Lopez, right? Mm-hmm. In her room.
Yeah.
Hotel room.
It looks like it's supposed to be a hotel room.
Yeah, and she's just wearing like a white tank top or something. You can totally see that lines of her cheeks and
the lines of her cheeks.
Yeah, you can. And then she answers the door for Eric Stoltz, the
Dr. Kale.
Yeah, he's not the director, but he's going to be the like captain of this thing or what?
I don't know what he specializes, but he's the one that does all the research and he's the one looking for the tribe or the...
Yeah, the not forgotten tribe, but I forgot what they're calling it. The lost tribe.
Something like that, yeah.
Of the Shirashami. So yeah, they're talking about it. You're kind of getting the sense they're not quite beating cheeks, but they're getting to that point where they like each other.
They have history.
Yeah, you definitely get history vibes, and they're into each other.
Yeah, especially Danny catches up with Terry the next day when they start boarding up on the crew.
Yeah.
And Danny, who's played by Ice Cube, he makes a point. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know this was going to be a pleasure trip." So everybody knows. She's like, "No, not anymore.
I don't mix business with pleasure.
Bish."
Yeah, I don't shit where I eat. Okay, Cube. Okay. So you're pretty much you're seeing the whole crew being introduced, right? Mm-hmm. Through a couple of series of funny interactions. Like when Westridge comes in, he's the British narrator. He's coming in. You can tell he's bougie of a certain class. And he asks, what's her name?
Dennis.
Denise. Kelberg is the character name, and asks her to carry his bags on board, and she's like, "I'm the manager," and he's like, "Well, I'm surely you can manage getting my bags on this boat." And then you got Owen Wilson comes up, he's like,
wow,
putting someone's bags on board is a sense of respect or some shit. And then it kind of rounds it out, and you meet Mateo talking to Eric Stoltz, right?
Yeah, and he's like you said, the captain, the guide. He knows how to navigate the waters.
Yeah, he's going to get him through this whole adventure.
And Mateo has very blue eyes. Or green.
Does he?
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
He just looks like a grease ball too, though. His hair's like super greasy.
Yeah, so they start off. They're very far from the mouth of the Amazon, and they're cruising down the river. And they're in the Rio Negro.
Things are going well. Everybody's having a good time. They're hooting and hollering. But then a storm comes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we encounter, and this is the pacing. The pacing's moving pretty good. We encounter Paul Cerrone. He's our bad guy. And the crew rescues stranded Cerrone, who claims he can help them find the Shirashama tribe. But tensions arise as Cerrone's behavior becomes increasingly suspicious. But it's also triggered when we see Mateo look like it kind of pans to Mateo a couple times. And you can look like a menacing looks on his face. He doesn't say anything, but the looks there like you're supposed to feel something. Like this guy isn't a good guy.
So, and to me, like, was it a plan? Was this plan between Cerrone and Mateo?
I think it was. So I think that was the point of that. So I do want to point out John Voight is like 60 at this point.
Oh, shit.
And the dude is in phenomenal shape, man. He's jumping on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the movie, he's doing some pretty athletic things for an older gentleman.
I didn't know he was that old. I mean, he looks older.
Yeah, I mean, he was very late 50s or early 60s, which doesn't feel old, but that is older where you're not as spry as he looks in this movie. He's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he was. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, he's 86 years old right now.
Yeah, he's fucking 86. That's
Whoa.
crazy. Still acting.
That's not 1997.
Yeah.
He was 59.
Yeah. Looking like he's a fucking 40-year-old.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Pretty fucking impressive.
So yeah, but he gets on, right? And everybody's enamored with him. Like, oh my God, this guy knows what he's talking about. But quickly, Eric Stoltz's character is like, some things weren't adding up. He's trying to be open and asking questions, but you already kind of see a little bit of friction.
He's kind of he's a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, he's like catching fish. Of course, he catches this ginormous fish, and they ask him where he's from, and he says that he's from Paraguay. And the background story he gives him is that he started out as a priest, and now his calling is catching snakes, and he catches them for zoo collectors, essentially.
He's a poacher.
Yeah. And they're like, what the hell? They kind of like make a face. And he's like, well, you guys are like going and looking for the tribe. And they're like, well, we're not trapping or hunting. Like, we're just investigating. And he's like, oh, and this is where I get that. Because he's like, I've seen him. I know where they live.
Well, and yeah, he's trying to boast. And they're like, oh, really? And if you can guide us. And this is where he initially gives directions. And then Eric Stoltz's character is like, this isn't adding up. I'm calling a little bit of bullshit. But he's trying to still be respectful.
Yeah.
Now, with this, time's going on and more bullshit's being spewed with direction. And we see a little bit of friction, too, the next day when they're like, oh, which way should we go? There's a fork in the water. And Cerrone obviously wants them to go to the direction he wants to go. And Eric Stoltz's character is like, no. He's like, flooding is happening because that's what Cerrone said. The water's flooding. You're going to want to go this way. You'll find the tribe. He's like, yes, there is flooding. So actually, the tribe, if they're going to find food and live, they're going to have to find higher ground, which would make sense to go this way, away from the water. Do you remember any of that?
Yeah.
So then Mateo's like, hey, man, what are we going to do? And then obviously
they go that way.
Yeah, they go the way of Kale, Stoltz's character. And this, Cerrone's already cooking up his head. He's got to get rid of the guy. You can kind of sense it.
And he's like, asshole.
Yeah, because then they're like, oh, let's get a shot of this. What was it?
I think was it just like a background?
No, it was like a statue thing.
Oh, okay.
Artifact or whatever, and they're like, this is our first promising thing, and they're starting to film that, and then all of a sudden Cerrone goes in the middle. He's like, hey, this is what I said, this is what it is, this is who I am, drop me off with the next tribe. Throws a fit.
He's such a fucking tantrum.
Yeah, and then just totally ruins the scene.
Yeah, so they keep going, and they're like, what the hell is his problem? Because he's, already giving up weird vibes. And then we get the whole savior coming in, because at one point, Gary, Owen Wilson's character, and then Denise, they go listen to animals. And
But that doesn't happen yet, does it? Oh, it does happen, because he hasn't gotten stung yet.
No, yeah. So they go listen to animals. They go out there, and
they're listening to animals. Their whole thing is beating cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
But what's funny too, and the poor writing, because before this scene, Owen Wilson's character, he's like, you know what? I think it's this jungle heat. It's just making me horny.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, is that really necessary? That's very like blunt.
And Denise is like, can I get back to work now?
And he's like, no.
And she says, it's the jungle.
And they're flirting with each other. And this is what leads to them. They're going off the boat to capture noises, right?
Yeah, because they take like a recorder or something with them. Anyways, it looks like the snake is coming up to them. Well, you don't know that it's a snake. They do this whole Jaws thing where you don't see what's coming. You just see the camera.
We get a little bit of a snake scene, though. Is it before or after this where the snake captures a panther and the eye pops out?
Maybe it is this. But then what happens to them is they end up getting chased by a wild boar. Yeah. And they come back screaming.
And what's funny is in the scene, they're running, and then all of a sudden you see Cerrone
behind them.
Well, not behind them, in front of them. And he points the gun at them like he's going to shoot them. But he ends up, we find out they're dragging a boar back.
Yeah, and he went, defended them, saved them. And now he has a boar.
Yeah, which before they left, he kind of had that weird... And you see this quite a bit from him. Is it awkward face? Like his faces. He's like smirking. You know what I'm talking about? Like he was in the hammock. Like he's like.
Oh, with his twisted face.
Yeah. And then you kind of knew like, oh, he's up to something. Like he's going to go spy on him.
Is that what his face naturally looks like? Or is that just for the movie?
I think it's for the movie. So I think the pervert was going to watch them. And then he ended up shooting the boar. Okay. I think that's what was happening there.
I see.
But they don't, like, I think it was kind of cut out of it, if that was the case, out of the scene. So they kind of patched it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So they come back. He went out, made himself look like the nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saving him. And the next day, they keep going. And this is where we see the big dramatic scene with Dr. Kale.
Well, they have an argument before this dramatic scene because remember he starts talking about the Shirashami like he knows them. He's like, they saved me once or whatever. And Cerrone's like, yeah, this. But then Kale points out, he's like, oh, I don't think that's accurate. Like he starts poking holes in it, right?
In his stories.
Yeah, that happens, right?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was.
I can't remember it either, but they do have an argument. And then even more, I don't even think this was intentional, though, that the rope gets stuck in the engine. Or maybe he threw the rope in there.
I don't know, maybe. But it does get stuck, and Kale's like, oh, I'm going to go and fix it.
They're having like a pissing contest.
And Serena's like, oh, it would be safer if I do it because of blah, 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 blah. And Kale cuts him off, and he's like, look, the worst thing that can happen is that you have this tiny catfish that crawl up your urethra. He's like, I know the area.
Yeah. I don't know if it's catfish, but...
He said it was tiny little catfish, and apparently it's a thing, but it's super, super rare that it actually happens. There's like one actual case documented
burrows into a warm place.
Yeah, and so he ends up jumping in, Kale, and he gets prepped, and he takes an oxygen tank and everything. He's going to go down there and check it out. And he does, but when he's down there, he starts choking, and he comes up.
Here's what I don't get, is he had his oxygen mask on the whole time. How'd this thing get in his mouth?
He opened his mouth.
A wasp. But he had an oxygen thing in his mouth. He was breathing it.
Did Cerrone put it in the oxygen?
That's
Yeah.
what it wasn't adding up to me, and it wasn't making sense. That's what happened. He put it in the tank. But how do
Oh.
you keep breathing initially, or did it happen just really quick, the sequence?
It was quick because he jumped in the water. He went up to the
And he was cutting
engine,
the rope, and then all of
and
a
then he
sudden,
started choking.
I think that's what happened, because I'm like, how did this wasp go underwater? I'm like, I've never heard of that, but
Yeah.
that makes more sense of it being in the tank.
Yeah,
And
and the hose.
Yeah, because he even says it. He's like, oh, wasp or whatever.
He knew exactly what it was. When they pulled it, oh no, Mateo's the one who said it's a poisonous wasp.
Yeah, but later you hear Cerrone's like, yeah, like a poison. Like he mentions it.
And I don't know, he just keeps giving everybody weird looks. Like he gives J-Lo weird looks, like creepy weird looks all
like a
throughout.
pervert.
Yeah. And they see Kale come to the surface and he's choking, so Danny jumps in to go help him. They pull him out and they
Danny
find
Gary.
this wasp. He's not breathing, he's choking, and so again, Cerrone comes off as a hero. He like does the thing where they cut the throat and puts a straw in there to help
so
him
he can breathe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's upset and freaking out at this point. And it's perfect because Paul keeps saying that he knows the area, so he starts taking over
Yeah.
and directing where to go and kind of what to do next from here.
So they're kind of freaking out. They're like, we need to go get help. This is done. We need to turn around. He's like, why? And then we lose 2 days going up Curtin. Here's what we do. And then he brings up his original route that he wanted in the first place that Kale was like, no, we're not doing. He brings it up again. He's like, this will save us 2 days. This will save us 3 days if we just go this way. So that was the plan, to go down the route he wanted to go. They have no choice. They're kind of at the mercy of it now because now they're freaking out. Kale's life is in the balance.
Yeah, so he starts telling him and they start kind of following behind him. And immediately they run into, there's a blockage on the river.
Yeah.
And they can't get through. So, of course, Paul already thought of this. So he has a like bag of dynamite.
All right.
And he's like, I'll go fix it. And he goes and he sets up all this dynamite on the branches. And he lights them off. And it causes this big explosion that causes baby snakes to fall all over their boat.
Yeah.
Which that
the thing
is
was
fucking
full of snakes. I don't
terrifying.
understand. It was like a dam, like a barrier.
Yeah.
And it was full of snakes. It was weird. And how'd
maybe
they
that's
not
what
get
they-
blown to bits?
Right?
I don't know.
If they were on it.
With that much explosives that he had, TNT or whatever, or dynamite, like how the hell did anything survive? Because he had a shit ton.
Yeah, so they fall. There's a bunch of snakes everywhere.
They're like, you knew this. He's like, yeah, so.
It's whatever, man.
He's like, completely coincidence, which it wasn't, which I think they talked about before.
And so this causes them to lose the fuel tanks that they had on their boat too, the explosion.
Yeah, everything, it rocks them. And another part too is Westridge has a little baby snake on his finger, and it's just viciously going at
Biting
it.
him.
And then you start seeing the viciousness from Cerrone too, right?
Yeah, because he's whimpering for help, and Terry's like, help him. And he's just watching this thing. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And he takes his sweet ass time and finally takes it off.
My question in this scene, though, the tanks fall off, the gasoline falls off the boat, but it's a sealed containers. Why wouldn't they just pick these containers
Put
up
them
out of the
back on.
water? Because they're not floating fast. You can jump out and go grab it,
Yeah.
which you would do because you'd be stranded. Why would you not fucking grab all your tanks? Because they make it sound like they only have a day's worth of fuel now.
Because then you wouldn't have a movie.
But it wouldn't have sank to the bottom. It would have floated. And I guess I'm just having a hard time
Why they
understanding
wouldn't just
that,
grab him.
where the logic was.
I don't know. They didn't really say, yeah. You would have expected them to be able to collect them.
Well, if that's your source of like transportation, You'd think someone would be freaking out grabbing that.
You wouldn't just venture out and be like, oh, we might find more
Well,
fuel. We'll figure it out when we get there.
At least show the fuel. For me, for continuity purposes, at least show it being destroyed, like leaking or, you know what I mean, being emptied out.
Yeah.
To where you can't like manage to get it like back on the boat or at least tied up so it'll float along with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just add a little bit of explanation there. That was kind of lazy.
So, yeah. So then everybody's kind of going about their business. Kale is, he's down for the rest of the movie, essentially.
Yeah.
And then Danny and Terry, they're talking about Cerrone. And they're like, starting to see that there's something weird. He's taking all these detours. He's taking him through all these places. But they're supposed to be heading towards a hospital or a fast way out of there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like that's what's happening.
And they're desperate for fuel and they run into a boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
it
it's
looks
off,
abandoned.
And it's off to the distance. And he's like, stop, Mateo, stop. And they're like, what? What is it? They're like, he's like, oh, that's a boat, baby. And there's fuel on there.
Yeah.
But we find out that it's either, is it his boat?
I think it's their boat because he knows exactly where things are in there.
Yeah, I think it's him, Trejo, and Mateo's boat because he's like, hey, we're going to go check it out. They're shooting a gun to let people know, even though Cerrone knows nobody's on there. And they're yelling, hey, you. So now Cerrone enlists Mateo to go with him to go check it out. At this point, Ice Cube is like, yo, I'm going to go check this out. I'm going to take a camera with me. Film this shit.
Yeah.
Which I think Cerrone wanted just him and Mateo to go on there to gather some things he needs to hunt this anaconda, right? So they go there and they take a little boat, right? Or do they walk over?
I thought they walked over.
Oh, shit. They walked over to it.
Yeah, but Mateo and Paul get there first. And first thing you see when Paul gets on is that picture, like an article or a newspaper or some sort of picture.
And you see them all smiling, holding the big-ass snake.
Three of them, yeah. And
he hides, he crumples it up.
Yeah, he takes it down. They're kind of looking around. He knows exactly where things are, is what I got from here. And then Paul goes for this, like, very large box.
Chest, yeah.
Yeah, and he opens it. And there was...
It's just weapons.
Weapons in there. And then also eventually he pulls out like a snake skin that he has rolled up in there.
Oh, yeah.
And he tells Danny to help him with it. And he's not questioning things right now. So he helps him. They float it back to the boat. And Danny and Paul go back to the boat after he got what he wanted.
They start walking.
And Mateo gets left behind.
Yeah, he's right behind them. And then all of a sudden something happens, right?
Yeah, the anaconda. One of the anacondas.
Is it one or is there multiple snakes then?
There's two.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. I thought it was two.
I got the impression that it was
one?
I think it's only one. I got the impression there's only one.
Okay. Well, there's the
because we don't see two deaths. Two snake deaths.
I'm trying to remember. Because one of them gets shot in the eye and then it keeps going.
And then, no, I think it's the same snake because it gets shot by Jennifer Lopez, but then it magically has Wolverine healing powers and doesn't have it. But we don't see two snakes dying. We just see one snake.
I don't know. So he gets left behind. The snake catches up to him and bugs him up.
So this is the first legit kill that we've seen, right?
Yeah.
Besides the panther getting
And it's
killed.
very brief.
But it is, so this is kind of the cheesiness too, right? And the campiness when it grabs him.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it looks kind of cool because and they do this multiple times. The snake wraps him up and he twirls and it spins him.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, the snake grabs his head, and just breaks his neck. I thought that was pretty cool.
It is. The snake has some pretty, it had a lot of time to think about how it was going to kill its fucking prey.
Yeah, so he's dinner. Mateo is dinner. Cerrone and Danny get back to the boat, and Terry, Jennifer Lopez, is like, hey, man, where's Mateo? Where's our boat captain?
He was right behind. And she's like, well, go look for him. And Donnie's like, okay, yeah, I'll go. But then when they talk to Paul about it, he's like, I don't want to.
Yeah, maybe other time.
It's like, bitch.
How do you were pronouncing his name funny? How do they pronounce his name?
Whose?
Mateo's.
Mateo. Is it Mateo?
I don't know. They're like, Mateo.
Mateo.
They just made it sound weird.
Maybe that's how you pronounce it in Portuguese.
So, yeah, and then Danny's like, you know what? I gotta go look for him. And Cerrone wasn't being any help. He's being an asshole. And Danny goes and walks over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't seeing shit. What happens, though? I can't remember.
You get the vibe that the snake is following him when he gets back to the boat, but doesn't quite. Like, he makes it right back onto the boat before the snake actually catches up.
You think he's gonna get it.
The thing that I kept running into from here on out as more people start dying is, if it's the same snake and it just fucking killed Mateo, did it eat him or did it just kill him? Because if it ate him, that snake would not be chasing after more people. It would be like laying low for at least half a day, digesting a whole entire human body.
Yeah, or like it says, it got a taste for human flesh. It spits them out and shit.
Ew.
I thought it says that. Maybe make it up. But now the whole crew decides to make it a night to stay to see if Mateo shows back up. Which Cerrone's like, hey man, this motherfucker's dead, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know why they're in such a denial, especially because Paul does open the chest and he pulls out like the large like snake skin, and everybody's like, oh,
a snake gets that big?
Yeah, and he's like, but it's worth a lot of money, and like trying to sell it to them. And they're like, and this is when Terry's so stupid. She's like, I don't believe that snakes eat people. And he's like, look at my face, bitch.
Yeah, he's like, really? And then, but the person that does that really goes like along with the story, Cerrone's story, is Gary. Now he's intrigued. Yeah. He's like, $1 million. Wow.
Wowzers.
But you don't see it quite yet, but it's starting to get nighttime. But before this is where Cerrone is like, we're going to hunt this thing. And he shoots a monkey out of the tree. And he's like, you need bait to get the anaconda out, right?
Yeah, and that's a little bit further. Yeah, that's on the next day where this happens. Because right now they're still arguing back and forth between, do they wait for Mateo or do they just leave? And they're so fucking like, Terry especially, she's like, we're not leaving him. And they're like,
but
dude.
Would you? I don't think I would, but something happened. It's like, fuck, we got to wait a little bit. What if he shows up?
Well, the boat was right there. It didn't seem like it was that far away from them for him to be gone for hours.
Yeah.
At least find him down the river or you're not.
At least take your little boat that you have and just putz around.
Never saw them on a little boat.
Yeah, they have a little boat because he's like, Gary, grab my little boat. Grab the little boat for the dynamite. Okay. So at least grab that little boat and then float everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't even do that for Mateo.
No. Fucking selfish. So yeah, they wait till the morning. And then before like the night is over, Paul starts talking to them. Denise goes and then Gary stays behind. And this is where he plants more of that scene into Gary's mind. Like, look, if we capture one alive, like, it's going to be worth a lot of money. Well,
and his girlfriend, right? He's like, hey, babe, go to bed. I got to talk to Cerrone real quick.
Money.
Yeah, and he's like, I want to be in on this. And I want to catch the snake with you.
That's so cool. So the next day, we see Paul preparing, like, a tranquilizer gun.
Yeah.
And this is where you mentioned he shoots that monkey. And Terry's, like, pissed about it. And she's like, we're not doing that on my boat, blah, blah, blah. And Paul is like, really? Is that how everybody feels towards you? And he's like, Gary, is that how you feel? And this is where Gary's like, well, come on, guys. The documentary shot.
And everybody pretty much, shut up, Gary. Like, even Ice Cube gives him the classic Ice Cube look. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, everybody's against it. And it's just Gary and him. So still, if it's Democratic, there's still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So the day goes by. It looks like they spent an entire fucking day waiting. And at this point, it's just Paul and Gary with guns waiting.
Yeah.
And this is so funny because Danny, Ice Cube, he has like a little pocket knife and he shows it to Terry. He's like, I'm going to cut him with my little pocket knife.
Stab this motherfucker. Because he doesn't threaten them yet, but he's pretty much threatening them. He's got the guns. Like, they're not going anywhere.
So they have a monkey dragging from like a fishing line, essentially.
Yeah, fishing.
And the river. And you can start seeing a little bit of like pulse on it. You can see just like the outline in the water of the snake.
And he's being pulled. Cerrone's trying to reel reel it in, and he's like, hey, Gary, go get the light. And then the light is just beaming on it, and you see the snake kind of come up and down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, holy shit, that thing's huge.
And eventually, they pull it in. It turns into a whole ass thing
And
of
Ice Cube's
grabbing
gonna,
it.
yeah, and Ice Cube's going to stab Cerrone with his pocket knife, and the snake hits him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, knocks him on his ass. He loses the pocket knife.
Yeah, he's a huge weapon.
That was funny.
Yeah, and there's a whole fucking it just turns into a commotion. Everybody's falling, everybody's fighting. They don't want it to catch the snake. They want Cerrone to let it go.
Which I don't know why Cerrone's yelling for Westridge to come down.
I don't know.
What was the point of that? You
I don't
had Danny down there already, and you had the two girls. What the fuck did you need Westridge? I don't know what he was trying to do there.
And Westridge does come back.
Well, he's
He goes
standing there,
down.
but he doesn't do anything. There's no point. I don't understand what the point was.
Yeah, and he just falls down, and he's telling everybody to stay still.
Jennifer
Cerrone.
Lopez runs into the
inside of the cabin.
Yeah, and then the snake does I thought this was kind of cool. It breaks the window and it's staring at her. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and with all of this fucking on and off, Hannah, finally, who it ends up getting is Gary.
But it's because his girlfriend gets hit in the water and he jumps in to save her. And he gets her out of the water just when he's getting out. At this point, it grabs Gary, twists him up again, that does that wrap job, and then grabs the top of his head.
The thing is, Terry tries to shoot it, and this is when we start seeing Paul be the real sicko that he is. And he's like, "You're not killing my snake."
Yeah, we must keep it alive.
He'll rather sacrifice all of these people, and that's all he wanted. He just had a lot of human bait on this boat, essentially. And
well,
he
didn't
fucking care.
He didn't care what got in his way. He was going to get the snake. What was funny about this, the snake swims away, and you just see Gary in there, and his face
that was a cool
imprinted
shot.
on the skin.
The close-up, you just see the outline of his face.
I had to chuckle. I'm like, that's Gary. That's Owen Wilson.
Gary.
I just wanted to hear, wow.
And then Denise, she's all sad after this because her sweet little Gary is gone.
Yeah, she's like shook it.
The fucking funny thing about this is Paul grabs like a handful of like branches and he does some random ass prayer.
Yeah, he's trying.
And he tosses them in the water. He's like, goodbye. They're like, what the fuck was that? That's his paying respects to the dead kind of shit.
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking mad. Westridge gets on Paul's face and he's like, you little son of a gun are getting people killed. And Paul fucking bitch slaps him around a little bit. And he's like, no, dude. He's like, we're doing things my way.
Yeah, he turned Westridge into his bitch.
And pulls out a gun on him.
And he's like, Westridge, take my bags up to the captain's room or whatever. He's like, oh, the audacity. He's like, I got a gun, motherfucker. And he's like, take him up. And then he ends up doing it, I guess. But now it's turned into the crew, the film crew, Danny, Westridge, the female, and Terry are all now hostages. Pretty much held at gunpoint.
Yeah. And then they fucking come up with a plan. So it's nighttime and Terry fluffs up her hair, puts on some lip gloss, and goes to talk to Paul. And she's playing this stupid, help me, I'm helpless, you have great ideas and you're amazing move on him.
And Cerrone, being the Paraguayan lover that he is, he's like, oh yeah, I'll be your hero.
She's like showing her shoulders. She's like, this movie was supposed to be my big break.
Which, was that meta too?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
And she's like, yeah, we can film you if you let us catching the big snake.
And we just need protection. He's like, I'll protect
she's
you,
like,
baby.
but I'm so scared.
Yeah.
And she goes up to like seduce him and gets up close.
And Ice Cube's in the window. He sees it in the mirror. And then he does something. He's distracted.
He has like Terry goes up to kiss Cerrone. And at this point, Dennis quickly comes in with like a hook of some sort. And Cerrone pulls out the gun, and he's like, I'm not stupid. I know what you guys are doing. But then Westridge comes from the other door.
Hits him with an oar or a bat or something.
I thought it was a
or
golf club.
Yeah, golf club through the window and knocks him
Smack
out.
him on the head. Yeah, and they tie him up. And
they wanted to kill him and throw him off board, and then fucking Jennifer Lopez, Terry, is like, don't you have enough of this? We have enough death. That's one guy that I don't think I would mind. I'd be like, okay, we're going to turn him into snake bait.
Yeah, and fucking survival of the fittest, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're just stupid. So up to here was good. They tie him up, and then Denise had to come around being all fucking mopey. Yes, Gary died. Why are you talking to him? And she keeps glaring at him when he's tied up.
Yeah, and at this point, now things have settled back down, and this is where Westridge is driving the boat, and he's been driving the boat since Mateo's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's like, you know what? And they're talking about missing L.A. and
what they're going to do when they get back.
Yeah, and he shows Ice Cube, Danny, how to drive the boat, which this is where Westridge starts to turn into, he's pretty cool. So things are going good, but then fucking Danny crashes the boat into an island.
Well, they show up to a huge waterfall. Yeah. And Paul's like, oh, I guess the legend was right. But yeah, they come to a stop.
Yeah, he gets lodged into an island. He can't get out, and they need to winch themselves out. So now so at this point, it's Westridge, Terry, and Danny
on the water.
They're all active. Denise is still
bad and in shock.
Yeah, so they leave her inside. She's staring at Cerrone, pissed off. So they go out in the water, right? She has intentions. She grabs a knife and she goes to try to kill Cerrone. But what ends up happening is Cerrone is like Steven Seagal. He is just like, he has the moves.
And he jumps sitting down.
I know. That was fucking nuts. Jumps sitting down. Went
Tied
5
up.
feet, went 5 feet up this pole, grabbed her neck with his feet and chokes her out and breaks her neck.
What I
Kills
thought
her.
was funny was he was praying the entire time. Because he knew she wanted to kill him, and he's like, never look at, in the eyes of the person you're going to murder. And then he fucking kills her while praying for her.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy, man. So all this commotion's happening, which Terry, Danny, and Westridge do not hear at all.
A single thing of this struggle.
All the commotion, and it's a pretty big struggle.
Yeah, because Denise was kicking and shit.
And why wouldn't she be screaming anyways? Like, it didn't prevent her from...
silent dire. I don't know.
But yeah, and so now the knife is down by Cerrone. He cuts himself loose. They are trying to hurry back because the snake shows up, right?
Oh, yes.
And they get separated. So now Danny and Terry get on the boat safely as they ran back. But then Westridge is being chased by the snake. He goes up the waterfall. And they do a cool, and we see it in Jurassic Park too, where the dinosaur in the waterfall, you see it, and then the snake goes in. Yeah. And Westridge is like, fuck. And he followed Ice Cube's step with the bandana on his head. They both had bandanas on their head. He looked pretty cool. And he's like, fuck this shit. I'm jumping out. He jumps out of the waterfall. Mid jump, I thought this kill was pretty cool though. The snake grabs him midair, twists him up as it's hanging from a tree. Yeah, it's holding him. At this point, Terry has a gun and she's trying to load it up to shoot him, and then we see Cerrone get loose and he is trying to kill Danny, right? And
he stabs him on the leg. He ends up stabbing Danny.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Westridge, the weight of the snake on the tree branch with him, it makes the tree fall down.
Yeah.
Or at least the branch. So they both come crashing down and they land on the boat. And so everyone, that's awake fucking falls out onto the river again. And then as Terry and Danny are trying to make it back onto the boat, Denise's body just comes floating in between them. And this is when they realize that she's dead.
And she's dead. And then now Westridge is dead. He got crushed. But now the snake has its eyes set on Danny, where we're like, oh shit, this is where Danny is going to meet his demise. And you know what? I truly think in this scene he was supposed to die, but it was a rewrite. And I guarantee, I don't know if Ice Cube didn't want to die, but I'm pretty sure like they wrote that out like they changed that script because I'm pretty sure he was supposed to die right there.
Then it would have been just Terry alone?
Yeah. I think that's what it was. The intentions were supposed to be, but they change it. And at this point, this is where, like you said,
it bites his shoulder.
Terry shoots him in the eye, shoots the snake, and the snake gets a tranquilizer in the throat
several times.
Right.
And she even like blows out one of like the snake is missing an entire eye.
Yeah.
And Paul gets fucking livid because Jennifer tried killing the snake. And at this point, Paul has his gun out on them, on Danny and Terry. Mm-hmm. And Cale, he woke up from all the screaming and everything.
Miraculously wakes up out of his coma and stabs him in the back of the neck with a tranquilizer. Mm-hmm. Where do you find the tranquilizer?
I have no idea.
But he does. He stabs him in the back and then all of a sudden passes back out.
Yeah. And so, and Danny's the one who ends up knocking Paul onto the river, and they kind of collect themselves and they put Cale back to bed, and he's out again.
Yeah, well, my thing is Cale. So Eric Stoltz, he's an actor, a well-known actor. Did he not want to do this movie, or was he like being difficult and they just wrote him out of the movie?
Is he known for being a difficult actor?
I want to say he is, but I don't want to put this out in the ether if it's not a real thing. But did he just say, fuck this movie, and then they just made him, like, comatose?
I don't know.
Because he does. He's laying in it.
Was he big in the 97?
I don't know if he's huge, but in the 80s, teen actor.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a difficult guy or what, but they completely wrote him out of this. I don't know what the point of him is in this movie.
Okay.
Other than the fact that he came to save them briefly.
For one moment.
Yeah, how'd the snake not find him and eat him?
Right, he's the most, like, the easiest target.
Yeah.
Because he did not move or do anything.
Yeah, just fascinating.
And I guess that's what happens if you just close the doors. They just won't
if
leave
you're just
you alone.
Quiet. Yeah. The hell, man.
So they get the boat moving again. Everyone else is dead except for Terry, Danny, and Cale.
Yep. And they're trying to find their way back home, but they need fuel. They are desperately low.
Yeah, and this is where they run into the really, really old... It's like a building of some sort.
It's like a boat building, or like it was a manufacturing place at some point. There's a saw I seen in there. Just old shit.
Yeah.
It's abandoned.
So they're going to go in there and see if there's fuel.
But you kind of find that it's Cerrone's hangout spot.
Is it?
I think it is.
I mean, he's definitely been there.
Yeah, I think it is.
So they get there. So is Cerrone just fucking running this entire river? Up and down. He knows every abandoned boat that they run into.
Well, that other one was the poacher.
Area.
The other one was the poacher's boat.
But then he knows the poacher's boats. He knows where the tribe is. He knows about the waterfall, and he knows this building.
Yeah. Well, he knew about the waterfall?
He's like, the legend is real.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe he just heard. But it seems to me like he's been on there before. So they go into the building. It looks really, really run down, and there's no one there. And they find like the long like snake skins that it was shed. And they check the tanks, and the tanks do have fuel. So they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna be able to get out. As they're finding out there's fuel, fucking Cerrone's on this thing as well.
And he's like, surprise, and hits him in the face.
Yeah, somehow
he hits both of them in the face, and now they're both unconscious and tied up as snake bait, right?
Yeah, sitting back to back on the floor.
And it shows in dramatic effect a monkey arm, and blood spilling into a bucket, and he picks up the bucket and throws it at him.
Yeah.
So the snake will smell the blood.
And he finds this like powdery white powder, and he says that it's human bones.
Yeah.
So like it's either that, it's an old killing ground for snakes. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Or it's his killing ground. I don't understand.
Yeah. And yeah, he sets them up as bait. And then we see from the roof this very dramatic entrance from the anaconda just kind of swirl down.
And Ice Cube's like, holy shit.
Yeah, the mother of all anacondas just stares them down. But, Terry and Danny are very athletic and they manage to get up from the sitting position.
And they're trying to walk out of there.
Yeah, and they're trying to leave. And the snake just does its twirly, wrapping burrito motion.
I think this is the third or fourth time that it does this.
That it wraps them. It's pretty cool. I like it.
But
because this whirl.
But that's kind of the movie. It's a one-trick pony. That's kind of what they do the whole time, though. They don't show you anything new, really.
No. Yeah, so it wraps him up. And right as this is happening, Paul drops like a fucking huge-ass net from above. It traps the snake and Tyrion and Danny in there. And it's trying... Paul being a one-man show, man. He's over here fucking trying to, like, tie this net down, capture this huge-ass 40-foot-long snake.
Yeah.
Come on. And secure it. And at this time, the snake is not just fucking pissed at him because it figures out that it's being trapped. The net breaks from all the commotion and the pulling and everything.
Oh, off the fucking...
The roof? The ceiling?
No,
or
he ties it to a valve, and the valve breaks off.
Yeah. So the snake leaves Terry and Danny. She's like, you're number 2 on the wait list now. And chases Paul as Paul is like trying to go up the stairs.
This is more the athletic part where he's like 59 years old, man. He climbs this fucking ladder like a pro.
Yeah, he's going up there and he goes up there. Fucking bites him on the neck. And then...
Oh, he does.
Yeah, bites him on the neck. He gets free and he keeps, fighting, trying to leave. And it wraps him up again like it wraps every other character. And then looks him right in the eyes. And it's like a foreshadowing because earlier on he said that it was like...
A warm embrace.
It was a warm embrace.
From
and
your
it
lover.
Was like you were lucky if you could hear your own bone snap when it would grab you. And you hear a little bit of like crackling at this point. His own bones are snapping. And the snake goes like above his head and swallows them all. So Terry and Danny are like, all right, we're free to go. So this is where it doesn't make sense to me.
They see his legs, though, as he's being
swallowed.
Yeah. And
yeah,
they're
you
kicking.
see his little legs going in. This is the thing that doesn't make sense to me. So it ate a whole entire human and it's quickly moving again, following Danny and Terry now. And
they spit it back out.
Well, not yet.
Yeah.
But that happens later. So it's moving incredibly fast for just having swallowed a human, an adult human.
True.
So it smacks the snake like with the tail or something, smacks Danny and he trips. Terry starts crawling up to like the second floor of some on the cabin and that side of the building, and it follows her. And this is where she goes and she opens a door and it's a room full of baby snakes. So this is the second scene where there's actually baby anacondas in there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, some of them are real.
I don't remember that.
And the snake breaks through the wall and pukes at Paul in a very fucking epic scene. I liked it. Pukes him out. He lands knees first.
And he's all broken down, like the venom or something. They're hit.
The acid.
Yeah,
it's breaking him down already.
Yeah.
And it's super epic. He falls on his knees. His face is slowly coming up to Jennifer's waist. And he winks at her and slightly touches her belly with all that goo on it.
Yeah.
And she fucking runs away from there. She goes and she finds Danny again. And again, I mean, by now it makes sense that the snake is all over. It got rid of the human.
Yeah, Danny grabs a pickaxe.
Mm-hmm.
And she's telling her, hey, go up the smokestack. And she goes up, and then she's like, I can't open it. He's like, try the hinges. And so then she pushes on the hinges, it opens, she gets out. And at this point, Danny, got the tail pinned, though. He's got the snake tail pinned, but not for long. But he does throw a bunch of fuel on the snake, which did he bring fuel out for the boat? Because I never see that.
I don't think they got a chance because they had just
But they fueled up.
it.
They did because that was the only way to get out of there. They
got
fuel.
it out, but when did they do it? Because it went super fast from finding it to Paul knocking him out and putting him
blowing
as
it up.
bait.
I know, and they blew up the building. When did they get the gas? They never did, dude.
Maybe the
Continuity, bro. Continuity.
indigenous gave him
The
fuel.
Shirashami?
Although they had canoes.
They didn't find them yet. They were leaving.
Later on, man.
So at this point, she's hanging from the smokestack, and he's like, "You gotta let go," and she's like, "Hell no," because it is like 100-foot drop.
Yeah, I would have not either.
Somehow she survived. She let go
Well, the
as it was exploding.
makes her fall. Yeah.
And now she's in the water, and then you see this snake just engulfed in flames, screaming.
The other thing, there's like huge pieces of debris falling from the building everywhere, and
Nobody gets hit.
Nobody got hit with it.
Yeah, because it does show Danny like crouched, like I'm like, oh, he's gonna get hit. None of them got hit by it.
Not the boat. You figure the boat would have had like big pieces on it,
and then the snake is all engulfed in flames. Dies, I guess.
It chases in and like dies down burning. And then they're like, okay, it's safe. And then it makes one last appearance, breaking through the wooden floor.
Oh, yeah.
And Danny's like, bitch, with the pick and just starts smacking it on the head over and over. Again, this snake at this point had 2 eyes. So I think they was meant to have 2 because they even said in the... When I was looking on the research, they had 2 different color snakes.
But they do not tell you 2 different snakes, and which specify that because you shot a snake and it disappeared. Did it die or did it survive? We don't know.
I don't know.
And then this one was completely healthy in the thing because the face had no wounds.
So I think it was 2. The other one got shot a lot in the face.
But again, they got lazy and didn't explain any of this. Okay. I don't know. That's what I got out of this. Before you did research, you thought there was 2 snakes?
Well, I was like, one got shot in the face a lot, so.
No.
One of them was green, one of them was dark, and it had red stripes.
But they only showed one die.
One of them was shown clearly dying. The other one, you just feel it in the caps. No. Okay. Anyways, they get back on the boat and just perfect timing. Cole wakes up and he's like, I don't know what I missed.
Oh my God.
The whole fucking movie, Cole. Go back home.
Kale. And then at this point in time, they're driving. They're like, whoa, look. Ice Cube's like, what the heck? Look. And then that's when you see the Shirashami in their canoes.
Yeah.
Coming up. And
it's like, I'm going to go get my camera.
Yeah, exactly. And then that was the happy ending, the ending of the movie. Now, you said there was an alternate ending, right?
Somewhere online, the magic people of the internet, apparently there was an alternate ending where this movie ends with the anaconda hatching eggs, leading to believe that there is going to be a sequel.
But anacondas don't hatch eggs.
No, they hatch their babies live.
Yeah, they give birth like a human, dog. It comes out of their butthole.
Is there one hole for everything?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not gonna Google it.
But that's the end of the movie. The alternate ending would have been weird because it wouldn't work. But still, yeah, that was pretty good, I guess.
That was pretty good, you guess?
So after thoroughly talking at length about this movie, has your opinion about this movie changed?
No.
No?
No.
Mine, slightly. You
hate it now?
No, I like it, but I guess it hasn't changed too much on it. It's entertaining, but there's a lot of continuity issues for me that I can't get over. But the cheesiness does help it. It does have its charm.
Cheesy, the funny mix-up.
Yeah, and it's pretty star-studded.
Yeah.
The cast is pretty good. What would you rank this movie?
I would rank it at 2.5.
You give it a 2.5?
Yeah.
Wow, and you like this movie?
Yeah.
Are you sure at 2.5?
Yeah. It wasn't the greatest. It's just entertaining.
Okay. Because that's where I'm sitting at. I'm saying 2.5.
Okay.
Only because of that. The continuity and the story is a little half-baked. The dialogue, like it pointed out, like audience and critics pointed out, it is terrible. And then just the meta stuff, the Ice Cube, Today's a Good Day, and then the song on the radio. It's like, oh, come on, guys. So I give it a 2.5.
Okay.
What was your favorite kill?
My favorite kill. I don't know, man.
Well, let's start what you have. You have Trejo leading.
Gary.
Trejo is the first. Who's the second?
We have Gary dies after. No, Mateo.
Mateo.
But we don't really see a ton of him.
But you do see it. You do see that. And then you have the Panther. You have Gary, like
the
you
Panther
said.
counts?
Yeah. And then Gary. And then you have Denise.
Mm-hmm.
And then Westridge. And then Paul.
I think my favorite is Paul, only because he got puked.
Puked, and you like that wing.
The wink, the creepy, gross wink, as he's like more dead than alive. He just had to go out with a creepy fucking vibe.
I think the coolest one was Westridge mid-air grab. I thought that was pretty cool, but I would give it to Cerrone. I think that kill was satisfying just because that dude was a real asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He's a real goofball. Well, should we take a quick break and we'll get to our segment of Vienna's Review Corner?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, we'll be right back.
Vienna's Review Corner. Sometimes she watches, sometimes she won't. Sometimes she's hyped, but most times she's mad. Take it away, Vienna.
And we are back. Now, on to our next segment. Vienna's Review Corner.
Oh my god, I'm so excited!
There you go.
Hell yeah. Fake it till you make it, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
How are you, little Camille's?
Good, I guess. I don't know.
How are your churros?
They were good.
What flavor did you end up indulging? Are there any left?
Yeah.
Are they gone?
Yeah. I didn't eat all of them.
Oh, okay.
my gosh.
Our favorite restaurant that we used to be sponsored by, El Sazon. You're just a self-hating Mexican. Me and Angels love it.
No, I'm not. I just don't want to eat the same food every day.
We haven't been eating Mexican food in
We
like
talked
forever.
about this. We talked about this.
No, but whenever you say that, you bring it up and you're like, you just hate it because you hate yourself.
Well, you do not like Mexican food, which is weird.
It makes my, like, that specific place, it makes my tummy sick. I don't know. So,
This is news to me.
I know.
I don't know about your bowel movements. I don't want to know. TMI.
I didn't say anything about my bowel movements. My stomach starts hurting.
Oh, I gotcha.
Goodness.
Anyway.
What about choo-choos?
I don't know.
Does that make your tummy weird?
Kind of.
Everything makes your tummy weird?
I'm just sensitive. I'm delicate like a flower, okay?
Damn. Okay. No more Mexican food in the house.
See? I don't tell you because you guys take it up
See?
like 10 levels. That's why I don't
What
tell
other
you
foods-
anything.
What other foods make you sensitive?
That's why I don't tell you anything.
That's it? Just
No,
Mexican
there's more.
food?
But
There's more. This isn't the podcast. We digress. We don't need to get into
We're talking
her
about dietary
Yeah.
restrictions.
Oh, God.
This is Vienna's Review Corner. What are you doing in your segment, Camila? You look up reviews from the online world and the peoples. Anaconda. Did you watch all of it or no?
Yeah.
This was not your first time watching it, was it?
I've watched it like 2 or 3 times before.
Okay.
Yeah, probably more. Your mom's seen this a million times.
Her, not me.
How did you feel about the movie?
It's okay.
It's just okay.
Yeah.
I got a question, and I asked your mom earlier about this, but I want to see your viewpoint on this. How do you feel
Here we
about
go.
How do you feel about Jennifer Lopez?
I don't know.
You guys don't give me the. Are you guys scared of her? Like,
No, she just isn't super talented. I don't know.
oh damn. Well, okay, I get it. What the conversation with your mom was like. I don't feel like she resonates, or you guys connect with her. Like you don't see yourselves in her. She's just kind of. I don't know.
I heard she's kind of rude.
Oh,
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
just her characters that she plays, they're not like characters that I resonate with.
Yeah. That's fair.
Her as a whole.
Her
Yeah.
as a whole. And then just outside, she doesn't really do a ton that resonates with me that I'd be like, oh, she's mingling with the Hispanics. No,
Doesn't happen.
no.
Oh.
Now that I know, I don't know.
Well, she was with Alex Rodriguez a little bit.
I don't think that counts. She was just with his wiener. That's it.
Wow.
I think.
Wow.
I think Richard's more Latin than her.
And,
Richard, how do you feel about J-Lo?
you know, Jenny from the block, dog. Don't be fooled by the rocks that she's
That's
got.
been disputed that wasn't her song that she wrote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with her. I think she's a pretty good actress. Does she resonate with me? No, but I don't think she's meant to be.
Okay, how do you feel about Owen Wilson?
Wow. He's okay. Again, I liked him in the car movie, Cars. Is that?
He's in Cars?
Yeah, he's Flash.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Does he resonate with you?
Yeah, Drillbit Taylor was cool. Wedding Crashers, obviously. I like him.
Does he represent anything? Does he hold a special place for you?
Well, he has a very distinct nose. So
Was that
it's broken a few times.
Oh,
He's olive, not white. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa. Owen
That's what
Wilson?
you say. No, that's what you say about yourself.
I am. I'm olive. I'm Italian. What the fuck?
I thought you were German.
I'm Italian.
That's what your DNA test showed.
Is wrong. So yeah,
so yeah. Anaconda?
reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Do people like it?
It was mixed. It was either like they thought it was really good or it was really bad.
Really good. This was really good.
A lot of people actually.
Really?
It must have got a cult following over time.
Yeah. Someone said, I get such a kick out of this movie every time I watch it. It's not a guilty pleasure because I refuse to feel guilty for something I liked. It's just a movie that entertains me, makes me laugh, and makes me appreciate just how over the top Jon Voight went with his performance. I could watch this movie just for him. How did you guys feel about Jon Voight's performance?
It's a performance.
Was it the right performance? I don't know.
Interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah, we'll just leave it. It was interesting.
The CGI kills me. Oh wait, the CGI kills are absolutely horrendous, but it just adds to the hilarity that is Anaconda. Also, this might be the wildest cast of all time. Which that's what a lot of people were saying, which like it was a weird, like interesting cast.
Oh, really?
It was, but it was a star-studded cast
Mhm.
of up-and-comers at the time.
Yeah. Someone said, the cast of this is absolutely insane in the best way possible. I wish this was a cult classic that everyone everywhere talked about. Perfect bonkers cinema. Mm-hmm.
Like it.
Someone said, I'm not gonna lie, I googled if anacondas can eat humans after this.
Duh.
This is a really fun role for J-Lo. I also kind of loved how fake the anaconda looked.
Damn.
Someone else said, this garbage guilty pleasure with its amazing CGI is a freaking godsend.
At any given day, so I could feel like if I seen this movie like on a good day and it hit me right, I'm like, this is the best piece of cinematography I've ever seen in my life. Or usually
Piece of garbage.
99% of the time, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Someone else said, so where's Nicki Minaj?
I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Sir makes a lot. Come on.
Yeah.
Someone else said, I can believe a screaming snake, but I draw the line at Jon Voight being Paraguayan.
That was the most unbelievable. And they had a CGI snake.
Someone else said, screaming snakes, Danny Trejo committing suicide up a mast, Jon Voight going full Hopkins, Eric Stoltz choking on a wasp, Owen Wilson with a touch of the traitors, Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez bathing in monkey blood. It can only be Anaconda.
Oh, nice.
Exactly. That's a good one.
I like the plot.
Mhm.
Nice. I like it. Thank you for the reviews.
Yeah. I have a question for my mom.
Oh, fuck.
Do you think J-Lo perms her hair or no? You were trying to dispute this earlier.
And you were pulling up evidence. You had
she
a
had, like,
board.
she was like,
I mean,
No, she had a cork board and there was yarn
Red lines
everywhere, dude. We're like, whoa, this is kind of unhealthy.
Yeah.
And you were pointing and you kind of spun out. I
Yeah.
was a little scared.
All her hairstyles were like pictured, photographed, printed out
And she's like this, and this is where she looked like here.
throughout
and
the
here.
years with who she was with.
She's like, the hair had poof, man. Poof.
Yeah.
Look at the poof.
I was
proof is in
just
the poof.
confused. Like watching this movie, I was like, oh, because has her natural hair here, like her curly hair. And I was like, those curls look really natural, or she got a really, really good perm that looked natural.
Well, and her
And
nose
I
is
was
pretty natural in
like-
it, too.
And I was like, wait, recent like past 10 years, I'm like, her hair is always straight. And I'm like, what the fuck? Which one is her natural hair? Is it like naturally curly or is it straight? But the consensus is that she's a naturally curly headed
Yeah.
person.
But it is her real hair.
That's why her hair is so big. It's full of secrets.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
So you solved the secret.
Yeah, her hair is naturally curly.
Okay.
She just straightens it, man.
Love it. Love it.
Mm.
I'm going to ask the question since somebody else is.
No. What movie are we watching next week? Tremors, baby.
This is your first time that you're gonna watch it.
What's it about?
Snakes underground.
You've never seen it?
She's never
No.
seen it.
It's not a snake underground, but
It's
it's
a
like
monster.
I would
It's a
say,
worm.
yeah, it's like a worm, but we're going to watch. You've never seen it?
No.
Guess who's in it? Our boy,
Tocino.
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin fucking Bacon, baby. We just seen him a couple episodes ago with Hollow Man, which
You're
I'll
gonna-
have to show you a poster of Hollow Man that I hung up just to spite Angela. She hates it. I love it. Sadly, this one has no Kevin Bacon dong.
I was gonna
Um,
say each
exposure.
week you get bacon by someone, one or another's bacon.
This is awesome, though. Our second Kevin Bacon movie, man. Ooh wee! Next season, we're gonna cover Stir of Echoes, another Kevin Bacon.
I've
Can I
never
add
seen
it
that
to
one.
the
thriller.
list?
Maybe we'll see.
Mm.
I'm excited. Tremors is one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's pretty good.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I said I like it like that.
My mom has been holding this belt this whole time, and she looks super scary.
With
She
the
looks sketch
belt?
as fuck, dog.
What do you mean? Do you want to see a trick that I can do?
No,
not
don't.
really.
Not on the radio.
She's gonna beat us.
Not on the not while the mics are going. Well, all right. Do we want to hit up one last thing about our giveaway? Vienna, how do you feel about the giveaway? Is it cool?
But the
We're gonna
critics
skip
rating?
Yeah.
Oh, we already kind of did it. Rotten Tomatoes, 41%,
Damn it.
Metacritic.
7%.
Yeah.
Google users,
30.
72%.
That's pretty low for Google users. Usually they like it. Like an
Usually they're
80%.
80.
But yeah. How do you feel about the giveaway?
I don't really care.
Don't care.
Not really.
Okay, thanks for hyping it up. You're fired.
Oh, okay.
Mute. No, the giveaway I'm pretty excited about. We're giving away Chucky Palooza, dude. What are we calling it?
Jumbo
Chucky
Palooza.
What?
A Chucky Jumbo Palooza because there's so much stuff in it.
Man, do you want to tell them what we're giving away?
Every single thing at that, one of the things is going to be a surprise secret thing.
A couple of things.
A couple of things.
Yeah, we
The
didn't put in the
major-
post. We've got a couple of Chucky things we didn't put in the post that are pretty darn cool.
Yes, if you listen
Only because I forgot to put them in there.
Guys, these people are so awesome. You should go support them, and you should totally enter in the giveaway.
Thanks, Vienna.
Yeah.
For one you don't care about, that it's just meh.
I know. I know, but I care about you guys.
I
so
can't wait
I'll hype it
till-
up for you.
We
I can't.
love you too.
I love that the intro has a new segment song. That goes perfect with the song.
What's in the intro?
Don't worry about
have
it.
to listen to the
Perfect.
episode. We have two new and songies today.
But yeah, to get back to it, giveaway, guys, it ends January 13th. We will be now announcing it on the episode that airs January 20th, which isn't the Tremors episode. It's the episode after that.
Wolf of London.
Oh, where American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Ooh wee! So guys, this we might even have to transition and do Child's Play 3 on. We might have to do an epic celebration, baby.
Okay, we're scratching this off. We're
Maybe.
not doing American Werewolf.
I really love that movie
We're
though.
shifting it after Chucky 3. We'll do it after
Yeah.
the week after.
Or we can do Bride of Chucky. We can do a Chucky episode. I'm thinking.
Bride of Chucky.
Bride
Good.
of Chucky. I like that one. Or Seed of Chucky.
I think we go out a bang with that. Do you guys want to do that?
Or Seed of Chucky.
I've never seen Seed of Chucky.
Actually, that one's so good.
Glenda? Oh my
Glenda.
god.
Yeah, Glenda.
So maybe
we will decide.
we'll
It's
discuss
gonna
it off
be-
air, guys. But I'm excited. I think we should pivot towards that, and it'll be a big celebration extravaganza. We might get Vienna's Review Corner the whole episode. I don't know yet. We're gonna see. Things are gonna get wild and crazy.
Richard's asking too
That
much.
would be like the
I'm kidding.
best birthday present ever.
Oh yeah, and Angela's turning the big
28. I was trying to
All
think
right.
of a good
28.
Don't lie. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay, 29.
You're very youthful. She's turning
Thanks.
36.
36, baby. I love it. She's a cougar.
Rawr.
Rawr.
She still has so much life ahead of her.
She does.
Am I? I thought everybody dies at 50.
No,
Maybe.
only stupid people.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. Everyone's
Um,
young until they die.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's very wise of you.
I know.
To live is to die. All right. Do we have anything else?
Oh,
Go participate in the giveaway. For participation.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Hey, I want to double down on this participation. Guys, the ones that are truly playing and listening to our podcast, thank you. And submission, we are catching the ones that are just kind of throwing it in Chat GPT. It doesn't fool us. And I mean, you're just wasting your time. Basically, you're just wasting your time. So
So what are the rules that you require for participation? It's answer to the question, a screenshot the podcast was rated, like the post, and
well, here, let's just pull it up.
it's gonna pull up. The other stuff is additional, the sharing, the tagging.
So it's to enter. You got to follow us at Horror Cinema Obsession on Instagram. Listen to our Child's Play 2 episode and answer this question. What scene from the movie did Richard say traumatized him as a child? Now, DM us your answer and tag a horror loving friend on the post. But remember, just DM us the answer. And I'm going to tell you the answer right now. It's when Chucky rips his hand off and it's a bloody freaking stump. Guys, you can't just say when Chucky rips his hand off. You got to like give me a little bit of me in there. I got to sense my flavor in there, baby. So that's the answer. I said it last episode. I'm saying it this episode. So if you do listen to it, man, you're getting it. And then if you guys could kindly rate this podcast, if you haven't already, we've had a lot. So we appreciate you. Just screenshot that so we can see that and send it our way, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, with that, do we want to end it?
That is it.
Okay.
Doodles.
Hasta
Hasta
la
la
gosi.
CC. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Horror Cinema Obsession. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If so, help spread the word by leaving a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts. And join us next time for another episode of Horror Cinema Obsession.